Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, inside the press box here at Alumni Stadium in Perry, Ohio. As you see, the home team, Perry Pirates, running out of their locker room onto their field through the tarp on the field as easily breakaway type tarp there in the center of the field as the Pirates do come out. I am your play-by-play man here tonight on a Thursday night edition of Friday Night Lights here in Perry, Ohio, as Chagrin Falls, the Chagrin Falls Tigers, who come in at 3-0, 2-0 in the CVC Chagrin division, travel to take on these Perry Pirates, who come in at 2-1, 2-0 in the Chagrin division with some big wins in the first two games of the season. Joining me tonight, my broadcast partner, Nick Paulus. And, of course, we are presented by the Ohio Center for Facial, Oral, and Implant Surgery each week on CVC TV for all of your football, volleyball, soccer, all of your fall, high school athletics games or events of the week here on CVC TV. And, Paulus, we have a beautiful night here on a Thursday night.
Gorgeous.
In Perry, Ohio. This matchup between two powerhouses in the Chagrin Valley Conference in Division 4. What is that one thing that you are looking for as you got ready for this game here tonight?
Well, I think, there's a couple of different things that you have to, sort of plan for if you're, if you're Perry, because, Chagrin comes in with, a little bit of a, smaller roster there for it. Their offense and defense, they have a couple of guys that go both ways, two ways there for us. Dawson Pierce, the quarterback, Cameron O'Connor, running back, Owen Lewis, wide receiver, and Josh Norton, the tight end. They all play on defense as well. So, you can really see how much effort they're going to be putting out there and, how much are they going to get out of all these players. And
you mentioned the quarterback for Chagrin Falls who plays both ways, Dawson Pierce, who is a 3-year starter for the Chagrin Falls team coached by Mark Iamarino, who has been coaching Chagrin Falls. He's in his 26th year. He is 182-95 as a head coach at Chagrin Falls.
Unbelievable.
And he's been able to coach his kids. The Iamarino family has run deep at Chagrin Falls High School. Coach has won 66% of his games in his career. You look on the other side, another tenured head coach, Matt Rosati, for the Perry Pirates. In his 14th year, 108-43, 72% win percentage. So you got two powerhouse programs, always at the top, always contending for that Chagrin Division title in the Chagrin Valley Conference. And as we wait the start of this game, just a few more moments of pregame here as both teams getting their last instructions for their special teams. Tonight, of course, Chagrin Falls is going to look to come into Perry and beat them for the first time since 2013. Last year, Perry beating Chagrin Falls 45-17. Key for both teams here, Paulus, as we get this going. Two teams that, again, in a shortened season, looking to make a mark, put a stamp on this one here tonight and put a stamp on the Chagrin division.
Yeah, absolutely. No matter what the records are, you can throw the records out of the book. They're going to give it, their best shot on both sides there for us. So I'm really looking forward to this game. It's going to be a really exciting, up-tempo sort of game, I think.
Yeah, and you got, of course, quarterbacks, as we kind of said, Dawson Pierce for Chagrin Falls, and you have Jacob Caldwell for the Perry Pirates, who's actually filling in for their freshman quarterback, who is still out with an arm injury for Perry. And he had gotten off to a blistering start, going 11 for 14 for 191 yards and 3 touchdown passes on the season. Caldwell, he's already amassed 184 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns. So, two teams that they are focused on the run, but Perry has always had those good wide receivers, those good tight ends here at Perry to try to balance that out. Chagrin Falls, of course, them coming in at 3-0. They have amassed 630 yards on the ground, only 129 yards passing, only 19 total passing attempts on the year for Chagrin Falls.
So you're saying we're going to see like a Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb sort of lineup?
Yeah, I mean, those tuning in before you tune in the Browns game, you're going to get a little high school preview version of that. You look on the other side for Perry, 84 rushing attempts, 484 yards in the season, but also 45 pass attempts, 23 completions for 375 yards. So a decent balance there for Perry Pirates. Chagrin Falls is going to look to use that powerful defense to slow this Perry Pirate offense down here tonight. So getting things teed up for Chagrin Falls to kick it away. Andrew Kirkpatrick, who is their place kicker, their punter, and a dangerous weapon that they have there on Chagrin Falls. Back deep for Perry, we have Jalen Anderson and Jaden Anderson. So the Anderson boys back there deep, and the kick is away. We'll go to Jaden Anderson, who will collect it at his 5-yard line, cross the 20, cross the 25, up the middle. He's got a seam. He's got one man to beat the kicker. Stiff arm. He's off to the races across the 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And just like that, the Pirates strike the Anderson boys dangerous back there on the kickoff return. And Jaden Anderson takes this one 95 yards to the house. Wasn't touched. The only contact was him giving the stiff arm to the place kicker. And Jaden Anderson scampers those 95 yards to take an early 6-0 lead, only 12 seconds into this ball game.
I love looking at the matchups here for us, and and looking at the roster sheet, because it says Jaden Anderson, 11th grade linebacker, 6'2", 220 pounds. I'm telling you, he did 100 yards in 10 seconds flat. That was unbelievable.
And Calvin Rowan connects on the extra point, as he has done now 13 for 13 on extra points. So it is a quick 7-0 lead for Perry, who is looking to come out, not just make a statement, but come back after a difficult loss to one of their Lake County rivals, not CVC rivals, but Lake County rivals in Painesville Riverside last week, who took it to them and beat them 44-14. So Perry looking to make that quick start, and they get it.
Oh, absolutely. They definitely want to get that bad taste out of their mouth from last week. Best way to do it is, kickoff return for a touchdown. Stiff arming the kicker doesn't hurt too bad either.
And if that's how we're starting, we are in for a wonderful night here at Alumni Stadium on your CVC TV game of the week between Perry and Chagrin Falls. Now, if you're Coach Mark Imarino, you give up that opening special teams touchdown kickoff return. What are you telling your guys? Just 12 seconds in. Yes, you're down 7-0, but what are you telling your guys on the other sideline?
Stay calm, be prepared. Just keep playing like you played all week in practice, and give it your best shot on this opening drive.
And so Perry will tee this one up. Miguel Demastis and Cole Edinger back for the Chagrin Falls Tigers. As teeing this one up, Calvin Rowan will kick that away. And Chagrin Falls, not same kind of luck there on their opening kickoff return, just getting back to the 20-yard line there on their kickoff return.
I believe that was Miguel Demastis with the return.
And Demastis setting them up right there at the 20-yard line. So bringing the Chagrin Falls offense out, and we'll see the first offensive possession for either team in this game. Perry leading early, 7-0. Again, the 3-year senior starter, Dawson Pierce, comes out, and, he's not going to be the running threat. He has thrown 9 of 19 for 129 yards on the season, but he actually has 17 rush attempts in their stat book for negative yardage, and he has 2 fumbles. So he's going to be the one kind of commanding everything, getting everybody in the right position, and going to be that leader for them going forward. And Perry getting in the backfield, a host of Pirates able to tie up Donnie Hardy, who was getting the first snap there. Going to be a loss of 2 on the play, bringing up a 2nd down and 12, and that Perry Pirate defensive front getting through early.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something that you definitely want to see from Perry early. You want to try and put a stop to, especially what happened last week, giving up the 44 points. You definitely don't want to duplicate those sort of results, so definitely go all in on these first couple of plays.
And something kind of a difference that we see here with Chagrin Falls we haven't seen from most of the teams we've covered on CVC TV already, as we got movement up front. Looks like defensive tackles there moved early. Looks like Tommy Conway. Tommy Conway, and again, Dawson Pierce being that veteran starter, got that hard count, and he's taken snaps under center. Not something you see very often at high school
Not
or
at
the
all.
college level in these spread offense, zone read type offenses. So this time, Pierce will roll out to his left, has a man open, but overthrows him. And on that 3rd down and 9 play, he was looking for his fullback coming out of the backfield, Owen McClintock, and just over his outstretched arm and falls incomplete. So with 10:41 to go, an early 3rd down and long situation deep in their own territory for Chagrin Falls.
And if you're Chagrin, both these teams don't do a whole lot of passing, so, this is the probably worst case scenario that you'd want in a 3rd and long sort of scenario, back up against your own end zone.
And this time, Pierce will be in the pistol formation, Hardy right behind him. His main running back, Cameron O'Connor, flanked on his right hip as Pierce will drop back, looking left, tries to roll out, gets pressure, off to the races, and only getting up to the 25, across the 25. They'll mark him at the 26-yard line. Only a gain of a couple, and on 4th down, they'll be forced to punt this ball away, a quick 3-and-out for the Tigers.
And Dawson Pierce actually had Owen Lewis cutting across the middle. It looked like there was a zone play right there, so the linebacker could have been in his way. But, yeah, he did have – he was looking at Owen Lewis the entire way, cutting across the field, hoping to get that slant route. Unfortunately, it just wasn't there.
So Andrew Kirkpatrick will punt this one away, averaging 32.5 yards per punt and kind of off the side of his foot, kind of angling, but will take a Chagrin Falls bounce down across the Pirate 45, down inside the 45, and marked at their 42-yard line. So good starting field position, as back deep at that time for the Pirates was just Jalen Anderson, not the Anderson boys, just Jalen by himself.
And it looked like Desmond Malone almost got a piece of that, coming off of the edge and trying to get that block. So close, so close.
So coming out now for the Pirates, their quarterback looks like Jalen Anderson is going to take this first snap for the Pirates. And movement up front as flags fly, and we'll have a false start. Back them up 5 yards to make it 1st down and 15. Pirates still leading 7-0 over Chagrin Falls with 9:53 to go here in the first quarter.
Looked like a wildcat formation, so you're thinking that he's either going to do the jet sweep and either pull it and run with it or give it off to whoever jet sweeps right across the middle and go around.
So Anderson back in the backfield, and he's just going to take the direct snap, get across the middle, up across the 40, up to the 41, gets 4 of those penalty yardage back, and bringing up a 2nd down and 11 here for the Pirates.
Yeah, and once again, that was, it looks like they're doing a wildcat formation. So if you're going to see any sort of movement coming from them, it's going to be their wide receivers shifting across the field. 31.
And Anderson will take the snap and hand it off. And getting around the edge as a flag comes out.
That was to Javin Richards.
And they'll filter a bunch of guys into that backfield, hand off to a bunch of guys. Just going through their stat pack that Coach Rosati sent to us, just looking at their rushing attempts, that was a long list. I was trying to write it all out for prep this week, and they have been able to give opportunities to a bunch of guys running that football.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, on our roster sheet here for us, Javin Richards, 11th grade linebacker, 6'2", 175. So he can fly.
Yes.
He's a bigger sort of kid. He can fly coming across the end. It just really depends on what Jalen Anderson sees coming from that defensive line.
And Anderson stays in there at quarterback, but with that penalty, dropped him back all the way to a 2nd down and 25, and this jet sweep coming across here. And a nice run on a 2nd down and long to try to get some of that yardage back, try to get back to the original line of scrimmage. And Brandon Mason getting that carry, getting across the 35 out to the 38-yard line, bringing up a 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, no huddle right now. They're going up tempo. They like what they see.
And Jalen Anderson's got his big linebacker flanking him on his right hip, and he's just going to take this direct snap. A nice stiff arm, but a nice job on the edge by the Chagrin Falls defense. And getting in on that tackle. We mentioned him as a leader for the offense, but Dawson Pierce, their linebacker, who is actually leading them in tackles this season with 22 tackles on this early season.
That's very impressive to have your quarterback be the leader of your defense as well, and just, demanding all the tackles. That is something special to have.
So after a gain of 4 up to the 41, it'll be 4th down 11, and back there in punt formation for Perry will be Brian Cox, who is averaging 36 yards per punt. So pretty even there between the two punters and almost getting in there on the block. And we'll have Damastis will fair catch at his own 22-yard line. Getting in there for Chagrin Falls looked like Tommy Conway almost getting his hand on that ball.
Tommy Conway was about a foot away from blocking that and taking it all the way back home.
So after the early fireworks of Jaden Anderson taking that 95-yard kickoff return to get this game going, since that point, we've played about 3 minutes on the game clock. We got 8:55 to go here in the first quarter. Perry leading 7-0, and both defenses kind of showing up now that this game is kind of settled down a little bit after those early fireworks.
Yeah, you definitely thought that, with the start of the game, you thought it was going to be just up and down, but defense is holding still.
So Pierce will be under center, and he will hand off here up the middle. Not much there. Again, that defensive front for Perry. You got Bryce Harper, Tommy Jackson, Jeffrey Harris, Tyler Croyle, all kind of stopping that gap right over the center between the left guard and the center, and minimal gain there. If anything, looks like they will keep him right at the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a second down and 10. They just changed it. They just moved that ball up slightly and made it a 2nd down and 9.
I think if you're Chagrin right now, you definitely want to try and get a little creative. You're already down in the scorebooks, right now, and that's okay. But just get a little bit more creative with your play calling.
So Pierce this time back in the pistol formation as he claps his hands and gives it off to O'Connor. Trying to get around that left side. Again, minimal gain, so not just up the middle, but that Perry defensive front, and you've even seen it from Chagrin Falls to this point. It's going to be that battle in the trenches is what we're looking at early on in this ball game as O'Connor, comes in with those 287 yards, only able to gain a couple, and it'll be 3rd down and long once again.
Yeah, once again, Chagrin backed up, against their own end zone, basically. It's not the ideal situation for them. They are a little bit more prepared than what Perry would be, in this sort of scenario. But, if you are Dawson Pierce, you definitely have to step it up here on offense right now.
So Pierce claps his hands, fakes it a couple times. He will drop back, and he gets picked off. And running it back, Perry will try to get out of the tackle and caught it about the 30, gets across the 20, close to the red zone for the Pirates. And Brian Cox, their punter and defensive back, who has 10 tackles on the season, gets his first interception. The sophomore defensive back, standing 6'180", and just was waiting there over the middle, reading Pierce's eyes, and picked that off to put the Pirates in great position here on their next possession.
Yeah, he was just backed up in a zone call right there, and all he had to do was just sit and wait. As soon as he got right there, ball came straight to him. Easy pitch and catch for the defense, and he just ran upfield.
So it looks like Jalen Anderson is going to stay in at the quarterback position and run the offense for right now, as we got that jet sweep motion trying to get the defense on their heels. Anderson just cuts up to the right, but a flag on the field from the main referee. Jalen Anderson took that 22 yards to the house, but we're going to hold on here because it looks like this one will be coming back.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think there was holding.
And that's something you don't see too often in high school. The referees here at the high school level having the microphone so we get to hear exactly what the call was instead of just trying to, look from wherever perch we get at each stadium we go to. And this is a beautiful, beautiful stadium.
Gorgeous.
And a beautiful setup that we have here tonight, as we've had at every other school that we have been to. The CVC does it well. And for us here at Chagrin Valley Conference TV. So Jalen Anderson trying to get around the left side, gets across the 30, he'll get pushed out of bounds. And running him out of bounds looks like Cole Ettinger, their free safety, coming up to cut off the angle for Anderson.
And that was a great, smart defensive play. You have the sidelines as your 12th defender there for him. So just make sure that you push him right out of bounds and save yourself some clock as well.
6:35 to go. Pirates still up 7-0. Second down and 15. Anderson again just going to take this direct handoff, pushes the defender out of his way. A nice stiff arm and gets up the sideline, dragging defenders close to a first down. We'll see where they spot this football. Looks like it's going to be just short looking across the field at those sticks.
And Jalen Anderson just cutting straight up through the middle, and great stiff arm, right along the right sideline there for him. Gave himself another probably 7 yards on that carry.
And gain of 14 there will bring up a 3rd and short as we have brief stoppage. Referees telling the back judge there to pump the play clock for the Pirates as they get this call in. And Anderson able to pick up those 14 yards. And Anderson, their senior running back, looks like we'll have a timeout here. But Jalen Anderson comes in as their senior 6', 220-pound running back, committed to play at West Virginia in the Big 12, coming in with 25 carries, 146 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, and a few catches, 3 catches, 60 yards, and another touchdown. Paulus, can you guess some of his career numbers that he comes in with as a senior already?
Ooh, as a senior. I'm going to guess he has at least 2,500 yards rushing.
Close. He came in today, before today's game, he came in with a career 2,788 rushing yards, 36 touchdowns. Oh, and he's pretty good out of the backfield, too. As a pass-catching running back, he's got 1,702 yards and 30 touchdowns, amassing almost 4,500 yards and 66 touchdowns. Plus, he's thrown in a kick return touchdown and a defensive touchdown in his career. Those
dual threats are exactly what college football, and let's be honest, the NFL is looking for that all the time now. You see someone like an Austin Eckler out there, he can run the ball, but he can also catch, out of the backfield for you as well. It's a very special player to have.
So it looks like Nathan Smith is going to take this handoff and give it off to Aiden Kleflock, and gets up the middle, trying to get a few extra yards there. He will get the first down and gets inside the 15-yard line. They will mark him just outside of the 10-yard line, mark him down at the 11, but it is enough for a first down. So first down and 10 at the Chagrin Falls 11. Clock ticking here, 5.5 minutes to go. And Nathan Smith will now take the duties of quarterback, and he will try to follow Jalen Anderson's model and just take the direct handoff and get over right guard, right tackle. Gain of 3 on the play. Looks like he'll bring up a 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, Nathan Smith, senior, 5'11", 185 pounds, just looks like a little bulldozer in there, just creating as many yards there for him as possible.
So Anderson back at quarterback. We got those 2 wide receivers on either side of them, and they have this jet sweep motion that they just keep using. And better job there by the Tigers defense to stretch that play out. May have gotten lucky enough to get back to the line of scrimmage on that play. Brandon Mason, he's been coming on that jet sweep a lot, just has not found that open lane just yet.
And you would kind of think that that's just, that is one of their go-to plays. And you would think, in practice it worked. Why didn't it work here? Just give it a little bit more time. I'm sure, one will pop off.
On a high snap there, but Anderson able to tip that with one hand. A nice spin move at the 5, pushing the pile, trying to reach the ball out, and gets marked down just shy, but it looks like he's going to be close to a first down. They could gain a first down at the 1. And looks like they have him at just outside the goal line and at like the 3-inch line.
Yeah, it is. Is it going to be 4th down then? Yeah.
Looks like where they're marking this football, they are dropping the sticks on the other side there. They have the 4th down on the other side there, but looks like this will be a 1st and goal for the Pirates. Anderson at quarterback. a bruising 10-yard run there, and he'll just waltz right across the goal line for his 3rd touchdown of the season. The 1-yard plunge by Jalen Anderson puts the Pirates up 13-0 and made that look easy.
Not even touched, just going right up behind the left tackle. I mean, untouched is the best way to put it.
And we talked about how these Pirates probably had a bad taste in their mouth after last week's game, and they have come out here in this first quarter to make a statement. As now we have their place kicker, Calvin Rowan, marked down as 41 on our roster and wearing 81 tonight, and there is no 81 on their roster, so Calvin Rowan converts on that extra point, and 14-0, a 2-score lead early in this football game, 4:02 to go.
And if you're Chagrin right now, once again, you've taken your medicine. You've already seen the kickoff return, and then they just they intercept the pass, run it right down to about the 20-yard line, and then just basically bully their way into the end zone. If you are Chagrin right now, you just need to stick with your game plan. You're not out of it. You're only down 2 scores. You can definitely get back into this game. Just do what you typically do. I mean, you're a winning program. Do what you typically do, and you'll be back on the right track.
And this is a Pirate offense that, while they only scored 14 points last week, in their first game, they beat Ashtabula Edgewood 50-0. In their next game, they beat Painesville Harvey 37-2. They are scoring most of their points in the first half. They have 27 coming into the night, 27 points. Of course, add on 14 to that, 41 points now in the first quarter of this season. And in the second quarter, they've scored 52 points on the season. So it is a quick strike offense, as Damastis will take this about his 15, and he gets a seam. He is across midfield, down the sideline. He's got one man to beat the kicker, and just getting tripped up by Rowan. Damastis able to get Chagrin Falls some great field position to get themselves back in this ball game. He gets run out of bounds at the 25-yard line, but a great return right up the middle, cutting it outside, and just great job there by the kicker to just cut off that angle where he couldn't get around him.
I mean, really the only thing that you could do if you're the kicker is just get in his way. I mean, for Damastis, that was a great, phenomenal return there for him, setting his team up and hopefully to have a score to cut this lead down before the first quarter ends.
So Miguel Damastis, great kickoff returns. We've seen 2 great kickoff returns early in this football game. First down and 10 at the Pirate 25, as Dawson Pierce will lead his troops out onto the field. And he will have Donnie Hardy right behind him. And he fakes the handoff, rolling out to his left, and he will get sacked in the backfield. And Perry, as they're trying to get those play-action passes, rolling Pierce out to his left, they are not falling for that fake. They know that the Tigers, just like the Pirates, want to run this football.
Oh, absolutely. And you had Bryce Harper right there with a great sack, and that's something that you definitely want to see if you are Perry. You definitely don't want to give them any sort of points or any sort of opportunity, even for a field goal.
Yeah, and Harper comes in already with 18 tackles and had 3.5 sacks coming in. Looks like he'll probably get another half at least there. So 4 sacks on the season for Harper early on, averaging a sack a game. And this time they'll hand off to Donnie Hardy, trying to get around the left side, and he's able to bounce off a couple tacklers, get inside the 25, and he'll bring up a 3rd down. And 3rd down and 8, it looks like, as we tick under the 2:50 to go mark here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and if you're Dawson Pierce right now, the biggest thing that you're concerned with is just making the completion happen. I mean, just take it easy, breathe. You got plenty of time. There's still a ton of time left in this game to score and get it all back on track. Just take your time and breathe.
And as of right now, they look like they're, from what we saw in warm-ups, they're in Andrew Kirkpatrick's range there, about that 40-yard field goal range. But Pierce going to be looking for more here, as it's a man in motion across the formation. He will take this snap from the pistol formation, trying to loft one to the corner of the end zone, and in and out of the hands, a great read A great throw to throw it only where his guy was going to be able to get it. Owen Lewis on the attempt, but just off his fingertips and falls out of bounds.
Tough play right there. I mean, it was a perfect pass. Let's be honest. That was a perfect pass. You know, it was unfortunate that it was dropped. It was right there in the first corner of the end zone, and it's just an unfortunate play there for him.
Yeah, a beautifully thrown ball by Pierce.
Gorgeous.
So we see that he has an arm, and he has had some success throwing the football through the air, but this time it'll be in his trusty hands to hold for Kirkpatrick, and just right at that 30-yard line, as we saw Kirkpatrick warming up with here, 40-yard field goal attempt for the Tigers. Ball down, kick up on the way, end over end, and through the uprights as the officials underneath the goalposts raise the two arms. Field goal is good from 40 yards away, and Kirkpatrick gets Chagrin Falls on the board, still trailing 14-3, 2:04 left.
I say we just have the Browns sign him right now. Like, I mean, let's be completely honest. Let's see if he can just, forfeit, college, just go straight up to the pros. We're, 30 minutes away from Cleveland right now? So, I say why not?
Give or take.
Give the kid a chance. Better than Cody Parkey. That's all I'm saying.
And to the Kirkpatrick family, if you guys are watching live or post game here, or like as the replay shows on CVC TV, your son has a bright future, and Nick Paulus is giving him that giving him that stamp of approval here tonight.
Absolutely.
We want to thank, as the special teams get back on the field, of course we need to thank, and we mentioned them at the beginning of the broadcast, our presenting sponsor of CVC TV. It is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery with Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, who is the CVC commissioner, Jill Weber, and Jacqueline Tomsick. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's www.ohsurgery.com. Thank you so much for all of your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference, CVC TV, and these student athletes. As Kirkpatrick has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line, and of course the Anderson boys back deep, and he will try to squib this one across the ground, and picking it up for the Pirates. They're going to try to run it back here, and a great job by the Chagrin Falls special teams. Looked like getting that one for the Perry Pirates was Desmond Malone picking that one up, one of the up men for the Pirates. So they'll start this possession in their deepest starting territory so far in this ball game at their own 25.
And, if you're Perry, you're just going to go out there, business as usual. Let's try and get Anderson the ball and, run it right down the throats of Chagrin if that's a possibility. And, you're not looking to pass. You're looking to kill the clock. You're looking to just, get some ground and pound yards. It's 3 yards and a cloud of dust here.
So it does look like their junior backup quarterback, Jacob Caldwell, will be in the game taking his first snap of the ball game here, and he does give them that throwing threat, and he'll throw it out in the flat to Jalen Anderson on the bubble screen, and he gets across the 35 out near the 40-yard line, gain of 14 out to the 39, and a quick first down for the Pirates.
Jalen just looks like he's on a different level. I mean, he's playing on a different level than everyone else. Obviously, the kid's going to be going to West Virginia next year, so congrats to him for that. But I mean, he's just on a completely different level right now.
And just like that, he's right back behind center in the shotgun formation, as he will hand off this time on that jet sweep once again to Brandon Mason. Gets across the 40 and brought down at the 43-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 7.
And that was Owen McClintock on the defense there for Chagrin, making a very good tackle, very needed tackle. I mean, Perry was only able to gain 3 yards on that. Without Owen there, probably would have gotten close to the first down.
So Anderson will take this snap again. He will fake the handoff, trying to get around a couple defenders. He just jumps right through him, gets out across midfield, and picks up another first down. And there were 2 Chagrin Falls defenders waiting for him. He just splits, almost like a point guard splitting the double team, and gets upfield across midfield into Tigers territory down at their 47.
Jalen Anderson just had a Madden glitch. He really did. That was a phenomenal play there for him. Cut back, jump up, jump back, jump back. I mean, it was a fantastic play.
As Nathan Smith will take this snap. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. And a couple yards there for the Pirates. And Aiden Leftlock on the carry there, picks up a couple.
Going to need to get a couple more plays out before the end of the first quarter there for them. And obviously Jalen Anderson looking at his coach, grabbing the play, and it looks like he's going to be put in the slot there for them, for Perry.
Yeah, and they're really using these two slot receivers as their jet sweep motion. As we get down to 25 seconds, Nathan Smith will take this handoff, met in the hole nicely, stays on his feet, but the Tigers rally to the football after Tommy Conway, their defensive tackle, came through, got the initial hit, and the Tigers rally to the football to stop them for no gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 as we tick to 3, 2, and 1 here in the first quarter. And the first quarter comes to an end. Perry on top of Chagrin Falls 14-3. And as the teams go over to their sidelines during this quarter break, Paulus, what did you see there in that first quarter from Perry, and what will Chagrin Falls be trying to do coming out of this quarter break to get some control back in this football game?
Well, right now, Jalen Anderson, once again, is on a different level. I mean, he is doing everything out there. I mean, Jalen Anderson looks like a phenomenal D1 player already there for them. So great job, West Virginia, for getting him. If you're Chagrin, basically what you want to do right now is, just once again, I keep preaching it, but you want to stay calm. You don't want to go too far out there. You're not the greatest passing team, but you're decent. Dawson Pierce looks like he has a decent arm. I mean, with the corner pass there down near the end zone, the one that should have been caught for the touchdown, it was a great pass. Just stick with that. Keep going with the play action there for you, and you'll definitely have an opportunity to get back into this game. I preach, take your time.
And it's the Chagrin Falls Tigers defense has come in only allowing 9 points per game on the season. Now, as the teams come back out, perfect time to remind you and thank our other sponsor, Vape Educate, which is an online course designed to be completed by middle and high school students. However, it can certainly be beneficial to anyone interested in learning more about e-cigarettes, juuling, and vaping. Schools are using Vape Educate as an educational program for teachers, parents, and other community members. Visit vapeeducate.com. Jalen Anderson takes the initial snap of the second quarter, running around trying to find an open lane, and nice defense again by the Chagrin Falls front to spread it out there, not allowing him to find any sort of wiggle room on either sideline.
As much fun as I'm having with saying Jalen Anderson's name and giving him a lot of props, he was holding that like a loaf of bread. It looked like Michael Vick play, just running around in the backfield, just holding it, palming it. I guarantee you his coaches will not like that on film. But I mean, if he keeps gaining yards, what are you going to say?
Yeah, and he does come in, although he now has 3 touchdowns on the season, he does come in with 2 fumbles. So, kind of, like you said, laying that ball out there. If a Tiger is able to get their hands even remotely on that tip of that football, as we have a fake punt, Pirates trying to catch the Tigers off guard, and it's not going to work. The Tigers will take over on downs, and Pirates trying to get a trick play out of their bag, and does not work, so the Tigers get a stop on defense, a much-needed stop after getting their initial points on the board, and they'll take over here in good field position at their own 43-yard line.
For Chagrin, that was I'm going to say this. It was a bully move. Let's put it out there. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. Stop me. And Chagrin came up and came out of nowhere, and they did their greatest stop of the night so far.
And they'll back that up actually. The referees will throw that beanbag where to spot the football as the center brings it out from his sideline. And Dawson Pierce will get his first possession here in the second quarter. 11:46 left in the half, trailing 14-3, as he is going to be dropped for a big loss on that play. Pirates are not falling for that play action fake at all, and Pierce will get dropped at his He gets dropped at the 25. Forward progress will leave him at the 30-yard line. And it'll be a 2nd down and 22. Not what you want to see to try to continue that offensive momentum you just built on that last possession.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that was a great sack by Javin Richards. He is a junior, 6'2", 180 pounds. I mean, that was a great sack in the backfield.
So Pierce will go back under center on this 2nd down and 22 play. And he's got that hard count out there trying to get the Pirates to jump. And gets dropped at his right back at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a yard, but gets pushed back behind the line of scrimmage. Looks like Damastis may have been in on that carry for the Chagrin Falls Tigers. As our perch here at Alumni Stadium here in Perry, Ohio, we got stands, track, sideline, and then field. But it is a beautiful view, a beautiful stadium that they have here out in Perry, and has been a great program that they have built here for many years in Perry, Ohio. So Dawson Pierce in that pistol formation. He will hand off this time, just trying to get some yards back. Looks like handing off to Owen McClintock there, getting up to the 35-yard line. And it'll bring down a 4th and a mile here for the Tigers, as we'll probably see Kirkpatrick come in to punt this football away. Now, looks like there may be a flag on the other side of the field there. There is one down at the 35-yard line, so waiting the call from the referee. Did not see that, as that Pirate defensive front has been holding steady right there at the line of scrimmage.
Wow, automatic first. Oh, no, 3rd down coming up.
And we'll see as the chain gang moves the chains, but it was a gain of 15. It was a 3rd down and 21 on that play, but they will get another chance at this for a 3rd down and short. A 3rd down and 1, it looks like, is how they'll spot this football.
Yeah, there was a spot foul there for him. So, it was going to be 4th and 16, and then they moved it up. So now it's a 3rd and 1 play.
And they'll go into the traditional power I formation. Pierce under center will take this snap and hand off. Looks like McClintock, the fullback, getting across, couple yards, getting across that 1st down marker. And just like that, what looked like a possession for the Tigers that was going nowhere, they get a 1st down and into Pirates territory. And we'll kind of stop the clock here for a second, as one of the Pirates lost his helmet. He does have to come out for a play. And, of course, when you lose your helmet here in high school or in college, you cannot be a part of the play and have to leave the field for a play. So at the Pirate 47-yard line, 1st down and 10, 9:30 to go in the 1st half. And this handoff, a nice run there, and breaks loose. O'Connor down inside the 10, 5, touchdown. And that's exactly what the Tigers were looking for, to get their speedy running back, Cameron O'Connor, loose. And he scores his 2nd touchdown of the year, a 47-yard scamper to the house. And just like that, the Tigers inch within 1 possession of the Pirates. You knew this game was far from over after that opening kickoff return. And it is 14-9 Tigers, as Kirkpatrick will come in for this extra point attempt.
It was a great play, just going straight up through the middle, right through a little crease there for him. O'Connor is 5'7", so he was able to fit right in between there and just scamper right to the end zone to cut the lead down, currently down to 5 points right now.
And Kirkpatrick will attempt the extra point out of the hold of his quarterback, Dawson Pierce. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and a little sidewinder. And got blocked. Coming off the edge, it looked like Javin Richards coming off the edge and gets his hand on that, and a little sidewinder just goes right underneath the crossbar. And so we remain 9:24 to go, 2nd quarter. Perry 14, Chagrin Falls 9. But, as it seemed like Perry was really taking control of this game, That penalty proves costly. Tigers capitalize with the touchdown, and we got a 5-point ball game.
Yeah, a very close, one-score ball game, one-score game there for us. Javin Richards, I mean, great play. Great play. I mean, that's exactly what you want out of your special teams play right there. Just all effort, going all out for the play.
And this is not, I mean, you see that often in high school, so it's not just Chagrin Falls giving up that
Right.
block or anything. It just seems like those PAT attempts take a little bit longer to develop in high school, and it allows those guys on the edge to really read the snap and get off. You see a lot of blocked extra points.
It's newer it's brand new to a lot of these kids. A lot more and more teams, especially in the middle school level, are going for two. They're not. You don't have too many kids going and becoming the kicker of their team. There for us. In high school, typically, the kickers come from like a soccer background or anything like that. So it's a little bit tougher to do that. The plays do develop a little bit longer, but eventually they'll get a hold of it.
And as this kickoff, they're keeping away from the Anderson boys, and the Upmen are getting a chance to return these kicks, kicking at about the 30-yard line across the 35. And
Jaden Studio, I believe.
It was difficult to see who had gotten that. Looked like 33 Brock Savon, but may have been one of the other Upmen, as Paulus alluded to there, as the Anderson boys are itching to get their hands on that football in these kickoff returns. After running one back, you get that early, you definitely are itching for another opportunity as the ball game goes on.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. And now you have Anderson back there in the Wildcat formation again.
And flag comes
False
out
start.
here. False start on the Pirates, as the call will come from the referee. And it looks like that gets called on Nathan Smith, their linebacker, but also running back, quarterback.
Mr. Everything.
Yeah, you got some Mr. Everythings all across the board, across the high school ranks. So first down and 15. Jalen Anderson just following his blockers. He gets across midfield. He's down the sideline. He's off to the races and just getting shielded out of bounds there. Not really pushed, just kind of ushered to the sideline there by Cole Ettinger. But Jalen Anderson, a great run around the edge and gets inside the Tiger 40-yard line at the 38.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Cole, stopping the play right there, he would have been gone for 70-yard plus touchdown.
So this play with 9:12 to go, first down and 10 for the Pirates. Anderson will stay in there at quarterback. They're running this system. If it's working, you're going to keep after it. But a better job here by the Tigers, and Anderson still fighting to try to get out of that tackle, but taking 4 or 5 Tigers defenders to come in and either get him out of bounds or get him to the ground.
Yeah, and that's just a great play by Chagrin. Noticing that right now all they're planning on doing is, they're dedicating everything that they can to the run, and so basically wherever Jalen's out on the field, they're just dedicating everything there is out to him. That's why you see Jalen now in the slot.
Yeah, Jacob Caldwell will come back in at quarterback here in the shotgun all by himself, trying to get the Tigers to jump. As there was a loss of 2 on that play, so second down and 12. Caldwell looks over at Coach Rosati, getting the final call. These trips wide receivers to the near side, 2 wide receivers out to his left. He's looking right, goes back to left to guess who? Jalen Anderson, who is free across the 30 and just slides down just shy of the 25-yard line. A first down for the Perry Pirates and Jalen Anderson, and those sticks will move again after a gain of 14.
I think for Jalen, I think he just tripped himself up. He tried to make a cut and just fell right down. He had the first down, so you knew he was okay.
And if you got Jalen Anderson out there in the slot, it's an easy just pitch and catch on this little bubble screen, this little throw out into left flat, and a bad snap. Caldwell going to have to try to rescue this. He's rolling out to his right and just going to throw it away as he gets brought down just after getting rid of that football. Looks like Bryce Harper coming in trying to get the sack. Caldwell looking downfield, didn't see anything, wisely just throws it away.
And he did have a couple of people open, but you just want to play it smart. Right now, you're nursing the 5-point lead right now. You're within striking distance, so give yourself that opportunity to live another down.
Caldwell will stay in there. This time they will bring someone to his right hip there. They'll bring Aiden Leftlock to his right hip. And again, trying to get that hard count, waiting for the signal from his coach. Gets the direction to his receivers. Leftlock will take this handoff off the left side across the 25, out of bounds to the 23, but the flag comes in from behind. And the only thing that has really kept the Pirates from really controlling this football game is the penalties that have been mounting up here in this first half.
And they're dumb little penalties. It's a hold here and there. It's a false start. It's these penalties that can just be cleaned up. But you gotta be smart about it. So I guarantee you, going into halftime, they're definitely the coaches. They're definitely going to harp in on that and let the kids know that the score could be 21-9 right now already.
And that call goes on their left tackle, Evan Forrell, getting his hands outside on the shoulder pads there, kind of trying to seal that edge, but gets called for the offensive holding. So 2nd down and 21, a little bubble screen here to Leftlock across the 35, down inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line. Just trying to get a few of those penalty yards back.
And if you think without that penalty, now it's 3rd and 4. Yeah, that penalty killed you on that.
So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 17, a gain of just 4 on that play. And Caldwell will stay in here on this 3rd and long play. 7:50 to go, first half. Pirates holding on to the 14-9 lead. Caldwell will get this snap, and a miscommunication. Leftlock able to rescue it slightly, but not much there as a broken play. Tigers not falling for any sort of broken play or getting out of their lanes. Bring them down for a short gain of 1, so it'll bring up 4th down and 16. It'll be an interesting decision here from Coach Rosati.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the reason why they're going to be taking a timeout. They're going to want to talk about it. It's 4th and 16, so it's going to be a tough one to call a run. But Jalen Richards, Jalen Anderson has done a lot of crazy things tonight. So you could definitely see him putting the ball in his hands and trying to get this first down.
And we do have a score update within the CVC. 3-0 Wycliffe over 0-1 Orange right now, 28-0 in the second quarter.
Woo-hoo.
And that wing tee, that old school wing tee offense that Wycliffe has, those Blue Devils, they are running that to perfection with a big senior class that they have this year over at Wycliffe. Here in Perry, Pirates leading the Chagrin Falls Tigers 14-9 coming out of their timeout. And want to remind everyone and thank everyone who is watching tonight. And if you do want to sponsor CVC TV and you want more details on how to do so, go over to Chagrin Valley Conference.com for more details on how you can sponsor CVC TV. And of course, that is Chagrin Valley Conference.com for more details. And it's going to be a tongue twister all night as you got Chagrin Falls and we're in the Chagrin Valley Conference. So
right.
Making sure I separate those two, getting the, popping the P's and T's through the microphone here tonight. And a dangerous pass there by Caldwell, who was going for Leftlock out there in the left flat, getting his hand on that. Looked like Charlie McLaughlin getting his hand on there and almost had a chance to pick that one off.
Yeah, very curious play. I wouldn't see why. Unless they do not have a punter set up to just kick a 15-yard punt to set them back a little bit. That does surprise me, especially not even going to the sticks. They were 10 yards away from the first down. If that ball was completed, so a very curious call.
So 7:19 to go here in the first half. Chagrin Falls bringing their offense out, trailing 14-9. And the second time we've seen Pirates offense turn it over on downs, and a couple of curious calls there. So Tigers will come out, and the handoff will go up the middle, and that pile just keeps on churning out to the 40-yard line. And a good run. Believe that was McClintock.
I believe, yeah, Owen McClintock.
And he was just dragging defenders. I mean, a big kid and a smart kid too. He is has the highest GPA on the team at a 4.43 GPA. So
congrats.
These student athletes, they really do take that student part first and take it seriously inside the classroom. So a lot of intelligent kids, and that translates out to the athletic field.
Well, he looks like a pretty young, smart Mike Allstott out there. I mean, he is just, bashing people straight through. So, great job for him.
That handoff going out to Donnie Hardy, only able to gain 1, and bringing down a third down and 1 at their own 41. And Perry able to kind of plug up the gaps there on that play.
Yeah, and if you're Chagrin, once again, I mean, there's 6 minutes and 10 seconds left, in this half. Just take your time, get down the field. Once again, you're only down 5 points. You're down, you get a touchdown, you're winning. Just take your time, get down there, and, just call the plays. And if you're Dawson Pierce, just, look for the open man.
Man, plenty of time left, too, and this will go to McClintock trying to push that pile.
I don't think he got that.
Depends on the spot. Looked like he got stopped short. Both line judges coming in and calling for the chains to move, just getting that yard by the slight stretch of the football by McClintock. So it'll be a first down. And as you said, Paulus, taking their time, still getting into their huddle in the backfield. And, of course, you see more of a traditional, old-school type offense. Pierce under center. Again,
yes.
Not something you see too often, but just doing things old school, doing what has worked for them all season long. And 5:30 to go, they still have 3 timeouts, all 3 of their timeouts. So plenty of time. Don't have to rush on this offensive possession.
Yeah, absolutely. Just play smart if you're Dawson Pierce.
As a pitch will go out to Donnie Hardy around the right side, trying to get around, and gets pushed out of bounds by Jaden Anderson, but still able to gain a couple. And a little hands fighting there as Hardy was trying to get loose, and will get run out of bounds at the 43-yard line. A gain of 1. It looks like we have an official's timeout here.
Yeah, and it looked like Donnie Hardy. I mean, he had the corner there for him, but he just got cut off by Jaden Anderson. I mean, Jaden Anderson's a very quick fellow, so that was a great job by Anderson on getting the angle and pushing Hardy out of bounds.
And another score update that involves the CVC. Gilmore Academy leading Hawken 14-0 in the second quarter. So Pierce, after that official's timeout, to get the ball set. He'll bring him back out with Hardy right behind him in the backfield, moving McClintock across the formation. Hardy trying to come left this time and not going to be able to get out of the hands of the Pirate defenders. And interested to see who got in there first. It looked like getting in there was Nathan Smith, who we've seen taking snaps at quarterback tonight, getting the initial hit on Hardy, dragging him down for a loss of 4 on the play. 3rd down and 13, so now you are in a tough position with 4:40 left in this quarter.
Yeah, Nathan Smith was just shot out of a cannon, coming straight through that gap there for him. Fantastic gang tackle along with the defense there for him.
So, of course, in these 3rd down and long situations, we've seen Pierce in this pistol formation, kind of that more new school element of high school and football offenses, and he'll roll out looking across the middle. He had a man open, just not able to convert. Running across the middle there and squeezing it between a few defenders, and Grady Zeigler was the intended receiver there, trying to run to the sticks and get a first down. So it'll bring up a 4th down and 13, and it looks like Kirkpatrick is back to punt on this play.
Great game call. Great game call. You know, play action, roll out, straight to the tight end. You know, it's just unfortunate that he wasn't able to get that completion with through all that traffic there.
And I would say look for that as the ball game goes on, too. You know, it looks like Pierce has a little bit more success rolling to his right, as most right-handed quarterbacks would. It's tough when you're rolling out to the left so much. Kirkpatrick's punt will roll. It was hit at the 25, rolls back, gets a parry bounce back to the 30-yard line, and that is where it's downed by Donnie Hardy. And so the two back-to-back possessions by the Pirates of going 4 and out. Still have them in the lead, though, 14-9, 4:04 to go. And again, we want to thank our title sponsor for CVC TV, or the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Their practice diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all your oral surgery need. And, of course, your cosmetic surgery needs as well. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's www.ohsurgery.com. So Jalen Anderson will take this snap, trying to get around the right side, able to elude a couple defenders, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. But Chagrin Falls has made the adjustment here in the second quarter. While Jalen Anderson is an elusive runner, they have put enough defenders and stretching the field out to just usher him so many times now out to that sideline, not allowing him to turn upfield.
And you can definitely tell because they have all, you know, their front 7 within a 2.5 yard basis of the line of scrimmage. They are dedicating everything that they have to that run.
And false start here on the Pirates. So again, another penalty on that Pirates offense, pushing them back.
Once again, this is something that, you know, the coaches for Perry are definitely going to talk about, you know, in halftime. Just letting the kids know, just play smarter. You're giving up opportunities to score. And once again, this game should be at least 21-9 right now. But it's because of these penalties that are knocking them back.
You know, with Chagrin Falls in their first road game of the year, they're gaining confidence the longer they stay in this ball game after that opening kickoff. But Anderson around the left side across the 35, pushed out of bounds at the 30. Looks like the 39-yard line. One side judge coming in about the 37. So see where they spot this football. I'm waiting to see the referee with that orange beanbag, as is COVID-19 protocol this year. But another hold on the Pirates offense. So a 10-yard penalty. Did not see that flag on the other side of the field there. But, again, a good run.
Right.
Get brought back.
Yeah, and at this point in time, I mean, it is second and forever. You're just looking to run the ball, try and get a couple of yards with Anderson, and, you know, see what you can do.
So 3:50 to go, second down and 23, ball in their own 24. Anderson just stays in there taking the snap as they got the jet sweep motion and trying to get out of a tackle. He able to elude a defender, gain a couple yards, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Had him in the backfield. It looks like McClintock was back there, but able to get out of that shoestring tackle was Javin Richards, but only able to get back to that original line of scrimmage. So third down and long, and with 3:20 to go, Chagrin Falls looks at those 3 timeouts on the board and going to try to get this ball back for their offense with plenty of time to make a play.
Yeah, this is best case scenario for Chagrin right now. With all their timeouts, you know, they are just looking to put one more stop here and then try and march down the field and get some extra points.
So they'll reset it to be third down and 16, and Jalen Anderson will take that handoff, gets a few yards there across the 30, down at the 32-yard line.
Smart timeout. Smart timeout by Chagrin.
And try to preserve some of that clock here. You got 3 timeouts. Why not use them? Because you don't get them to roll over to the second half. So smart play there by, of course, a savvy veteran on the sideline. 2 of the best Northeast Ohio coaches we have going, but we are fortunate here in this area, not just in the CVC, and I know we are CVC TV, but not just in the CVC, but across all Ohio football, and especially here in Northeast Ohio, with great coaches who are great teachers, great leader of men and women across all sports, and we are so fortunate to have all of them leading our youth and our future out there on the athletic surface.
Yeah, I mean, Northeast Ohio is the cradle of football. I mean, we have the Pro Football Hall of Fame for for a reason. This is and actually today, I don't know if you know this or not, the 100th year anniversary today of the first game, which I believe was in Canton.
Yeah, and imagine what kind of festivities we would be having in any other year to celebrate that, and of course. Why wouldn't there be a Battle of Ohio going on the 100-year anniversary of football being developed here in the state of Ohio? Of course, the Cleveland Browns have their home opener tonight at kickoff set for 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit after that for being on national TV, but taking on the Cincinnati Bengals and their rookie quarterback, Joe Burrow, tonight. But we are glad you are tuned in tonight to CVC TV for this clash of Chagrin Division rivals, Division IV rivals, Perry and Chagrin Falls. Perry leading 14-9, 2:54 to go, and Chagrin Falls getting the ball back here, and a great punt by Perry, and their punter, Brian Cox, unloads when they needed him to drop the Chagrin Falls Tigers deep in their own territory to make them go almost the length of the field. That ball gets down at the 17-yard line where Tigers will set up shop with Dawson Pierce coming back out to lead their offense. And it'll be a 1st down and 10, but they got to go 83 yards to try to get points on the board or at least get into Kirkpatrick's range.
Right, and I've been preaching patience all game. Right now, speed it up a little bit. So maybe go a little bit, non-traditional there. If you're Chagrin, maybe go a little bit no huddle. You have 2 timeouts left. You have 2 minutes and 44 seconds. If you're Dawson Pierce, you definitely need to step up your game right now and try and get a couple of real quick completions and move down the field.
So Dawson Pierce will come out under center, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of up-tempo offense the Tigers do have. They have been kind of controlling clock this entire first half of the season as this handoff will go to O'Connor, and he gets stretched out nicely on the far side and pushed out of bounds, not letting him turn the corner. O'Connor, a short gain of 1 yard, 2nd down and 9, and they will keep this clock running. 2:20 to go.
And Desmond Malone cracked him, across the sideline. That was a fantastic hit.
And, of course, you look at Chagrin Falls and their results from the first 3 weeks. The most points that they've scored in a game, 28 points when they won in Week 2 against Ashtabula Lakeside, 28-7, which we had in the opening game here on CVC TV in a close one against West G. Lost 21-19 in that ball game, did Lakeside. This handoff, a better run there by O'Connor. Guys just bouncing off of him up the middle, but it's staying in the field of play, and this clock is just going to continue to roll. They still have those 2 timeouts, but only 1:40 to go in the first half.
It's 3rd down. If you get this, then you would think that they would take a timeout and try and push the ball into a better range there for their kicker. Their kicker looks good so far tonight, so I think they're just trying to get into that field goal range, but they're going to need to speed it up.
Yeah, and as we were talking about some Cleveland sports as well, you may have heard the announcer mentioning the Indian score. They are leading 3-0 in Detroit over the Detroit Tigers tonight, with Jose Ramirez having 2 home runs already in that ball game. This time the handoff again to O'Connor. They're feeding him the rock now, and he gets out across the 35, a bruising run, and he gets out to the 36-yard line, and now Chagrin Falls will take a timeout with 1:04 to go.
A lot of time lost, though. A lot of time lost within 15 yards. That's something that I don't know if you can really, make your move like that. They've basically gave up, a minute and a half within, and they only gained 15 yards. That's not what you want, for this, and you only have 1 timeout left.
And great time to remind you, of course, before the end of this half, presenting sponsor for all your CVC action on CVC TV this season is presented by our presenting sponsor, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. And we want to thank Doctors Jill Weber, Jacqueline Tomsick, Keith Schneider, and of course, CVC Commissioner and Dr. Don Lewis for all their support for the Chagrin Valley Conference. Of course, reach out to them because their specialties include dental surgery, implants, corrective jaw, facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's www.ohsurgery.com. And again, thank you for being the title sponsor of CVC TV to bring you football, soccer, volleyball, and all the CVC athletics on live streams this season. Dawson Pierce leads the team back out and hands off to O'Connor again, but not much there. And looked like they were trying to see if they could break another run off there to see what kind of decision they were going to go with. And they did have plenty of time to start this possession, and now they're starting to pick it up, but 45 seconds left in the half. Pierce will roll out to his right, and a better throw there. A nice completion and getting out of bounds. Pierce gets that one on the rollout to Owen Lewis. They weren't able to connect in the end zone earlier, but they do on that play and get a first down.
Great pitch and catch. Got out of bounds, stopped the clock, moved the chains. Great move by them.
So they'll stop the clock at 39 seconds, preserving that one timeout. Still trailing 14-9 here in the first half. Dawson Pierce gets his instructions from Coach I. Marino, comes out and gives some final instructions as they break the huddle to McClintock and O'Connor. And they'll stay in this pistol formation as O'Connor will be right behind his quarterback, Dawson Pierce. He's going to roll out to his left, and a good connection there, but not able to get out of bounds. And coming across the formation, getting a completion there to Grady Ziegler. And he gets brought down at the Pirate 45, and that'll cost the Tigers their last time out.
I think what they're trying to set themselves up for right now is another play, another pass play, maybe a play action rollout. It seems like what they like to do right now with Pierce. But they need about 15 yards to set their kicker up for a field goal. And that's something that, you're going to have to do it super quick. You'll get the first down, and then you're going to have to go and spike the clock or spike the ball.
Yeah, and of course you see that rollout to the left. You're trying to get the guy, trying to lead him, get him inbounds and run him out of bounds so you can stop that clock. That rollout to the left. We talked about it the last couple weeks already, Paulus. It's that rollout to the left that are difficult for the quarterbacks. And if it's a left-handed quarterback, it's that rollout to the right. It's going across the body and trying to get that throw complete, especially outside the numbers.
And you never want to throw across your body. That is like number one, uno rule, do not do that if you're a quarterback. In some cases, there's wide open people on the backside, but you got to hope and pray that doesn't happen.
So Pierce will roll out to his right, and a great throw and a great leaping grab. They're going to have to get up to the line. Pierce leading them up there. Lewis able to actually scratch that. Miguel Namastis climbing the ladder to get that one. And quickly up to the line, well executed by the Tigers. 19 seconds the clock will stop at after that spike. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the Pirate 39-yard line.
Very smart play. You still need at least 9 or 10 yards to get it in the kicker's range. If that's the case, you got to get the play right now. Then you're going to have to stop the clock with a spike and then line up for the kick.
And with 19 seconds to go, no timeouts, maybe enough time if you can execute right to get a couple plays. And on this,
you have to be crisp.
They're going to have to get a first down, though, to get in that range because we've seen Kirkpatrick, the furthest we've seen him kick this season. He just hit his career long the season long at a 40-yard field goal. Pirates will spend their last time out of the half to talk about this defensive possession to try to prevent the Tigers from getting into that very field goal range we just talked about. So, Paulus, again, we get off to a big start. Jaden Anderson takes the opening kickoff, 95 yards. And then, of course, Jalen Anderson who's been doing most of the work on offense for the Pirates, gets that 1-yard touchdown run. They go up 14-0. But since then, Tigers have been able to put 9 points on the board, keep themselves in this ball game, and trying to get more points to have that momentum that is so crucial going into halftime.
Yeah, and I think the best way to put it is I think Chagrin's lucky to be in this game right now. If it wasn't for Perry, getting all of these different penalties and getting themselves knocked out of a lot of different really great positions, this game should be a lot wider score based right now. However, Chagrin is right there, to get another score before the half.
So coming out of that timeout, looking left, going right, and getting out of bounds, that's exactly what you need to do. Only losing 4 seconds off the clock. That's a good connection there back with Pierce to Lewis. Gain of about 5, 3rd down and 5 with 15 seconds to go.
You need to get this first down. That way the clock stops. You're able to set up to the line of scrimmage and then spike it and then get your kicker out there because they still need at least 5 yards to be in the kicker's range.
So back in that pistol formation. This time they'll have McClintock on Pierce's right hip. Looks like O'Connor right behind him. He's looking left, throwing left the whole way. And that time, Damastis not able to get that one way over his head, not out of bounds. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 5, 11 seconds. And they don't have a timeout to talk about this, so they're getting some personnel in there. Kirkpatrick will come in. Of course, he does the punting duties for them as well. But Pierce is talking with Kirkpatrick, and it looks like they are going to attempt this field goal. Ball will be, of course, the ball will be snapped from the 34, be placed down at the 41-yard line.
And we're looking at, what, a 51-yard kick?
A 51-yard field goal. Kirkpatrick into the ball, end over end, and does not have enough. And, of course, Jalen Anderson trying to get that ball and run it back. But, of course, even on a field goal attempt, if you receive that ball in the end zone, it's going to be automatically a touchback. We'd love to see Jalen Anderson run out, but
I was going to say, I mean, he had everything on the right side. There was not a person within 100 yards of him on the right side. He could have waltzed right into the end zone if it wasn't for that. I would love to see them change that rule just because, I mean, in college, you're able to do that. I mean, these kids are, one division away from that. Give it a shot. I would love to see that. It would have been a very exciting play.
Now, Tigers not able to come away with points there, so they will still trail at halftime 14-9. Still 7 seconds left in the second quarter. And Pirates will just take one snap here with no timeouts as well. Sure, Jalen Anderson will want to try to do something special here on this play, but you want to be smart as well. But the Tigers got to feel good about Pierce getting into a little bit of rhythm through the passing game to try to get a little bit more balance in that second half. Anderson will try to run this one out and get stretched out, and that clock will hit triple zeros, and we have hit halftime here on your CVC TV Game of the Week, presented by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, with the home team, the Perry Pirates, leading 14-9 over the visiting Chagrin Falls Tigers. Of course, Perry trying to continue that streak of beating the Tigers, who have not won again since 2013. Tigers will be going into their locker room talk, making some adjustments, building off of some of that offensive momentum they had in that first half. We will step aside here at halftime at Alumni Stadium, as you'll see the band and some of the halftime festivities and interactive things going on, and we'll be back for second half action here on CVC TV. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Jim can do a technical update, you know? Yeah. Tom talking about wrong here. Yes.
We continue our Queen show with a song that was also released in 1979, but from their album, The Game. Crazy Little Thing Called Love became the group's first #1 single on Billboard's Hot 100 in the U.S. in 1980, and remaining there for 4 consecutive weeks. The style is vintage rockabilly and is loved by many, including our drill team. Here is Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Show is coming to an end, but first, we offer a song that is perhaps one of Queen's most classic and iconic, Bohemian Rhapsody. Was one of the first songs of its kind written as a 6-minute rock opera suite and consisting of distinct sections of varied characters. The song is featured on the recent movie of the same title released in 2018, which tells the inside story of Freddie Mercury's life. We hope to bring it home with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
And welcome back on in to Alumni Stadium here in Perry, Ohio, where the Perry Pirates lead their Chagrin Division foe in the Chagrin Valley Conference, the Chagrin Falls Tigers, 14-9 at halftime. Again, welcome back in to the press box here at Alumni Stadium. I am Kevin Arnold, joined alongside by Nick Paulus. And Paulus, as we get this third quarter just about kicked off and underway, what are we looking for from both teams in this second half?
Well, I mean, you got to think that Perry's, main goal is not to have so many bad penalties, to start back up. They had a lot of false starts, offsides, holdings, a lot of things that really held them back from getting more points on the board. Only having the 14, and 7 of those came off of the very first play of the game for a return touchdown. If you're Chagrin, you're getting this ball to start the half. You are thanking the lucky stars that you are only down 1 score, and you have all the opportunity in the world to really get this going and just play your offense and run it down the field.
So Calvin Rowan getting this one teed off and kicked off here in the second half as Miguel Damastis will take this one out across the 25, gets a little bit of space on the outside, far side of the field, gets out across his own 30. And it'll be marked down at the 31-yard line where Chagrin Falls will take over, looking to build on some of that offensive momentum, as you talked about, Paulus, that they built at the end of the first half. And, of course, getting this second half underway, as you were talking about, Paulus, I mean, the running game for both teams are going to try to find a way to establish one way or the other control of this clock. And as we do get the Chagrin Falls Tigers offense back out on the field, taking over at the 31-yard line, looks like coming off that sideline, a little bit more sense of urgency in this offensive possession. And so their quarterback, Dawson Pierce, will hand off, and very short gain, even a loss of a half a yard on that first play from scrimmage in the second half. And looked like O'Connor with that run there. Actually, Brady Ziegler getting the handoff there and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. So 11:30 just getting underway here in the second half. Already in a 2nd down and 10 scenario for the Tigers.
Yeah, if you're Chagrin, you definitely, once again, keep running the ball. I mean, that's your bread and butter there for us. Even though we did see a couple of completions, to end the half, I think that is like the last case scenario that you want if you're Chagrin. Go out there and run the ball with Cameron O'Connor and Owen McClintock.
As Dawson Pierce will try to roll out, try to get it into the hands of looked like the kicker there, number 18, Andrew Kirkpatrick, running out there for a pass play as well, and almost picked off by the Pirates, but falls harmlessly to this pristine field turf here at Alumni Stadium. And now a 3rd down and long, quickly right back to where they were in that first quarter. And
just jump back on, piggyback on that, this field is gorgeous. This whole stadium is fantastic. We're so lucky, to have the CVC, TV have us here for this game, and it's been a great game so far.
So 3rd down and 10 for the Tigers. Pierce in the pistol formation. He will have O'Connor behind him, and he's going to try to go up top here for Owen, and he's got a completion and tried that play for a touchdown attempt earlier, but this time they're able to connect Dawson Pierce to his favorite receiver so far in this ballgame, Owen Lewis, down inside Pirate territory, inside their 40 at the right at the 40-yard line of Perry, and they are setting up shop on this offensive drive.
I mean, great pocket for him to just step up in, throw the ball as far as he possibly could, and Owen Lewis was right there. It was a great overall play for him.
Might be the most time we've seen either quarterback have in the pocket.
Really,
Most of the completions here in this ball game by both teams have been rollouts, bootlegs out to the right or to the left. That time to step up. Felt the pressure on the blind side, but able to step up and get that completion. He's looking again for Daniels or for Lewis, sorry, and that one zipped in there, and Owen not able to hang on to that one, so 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers.
I think Pierce threw everything he had into that one. That was a rocket of arm and throw right there. Lewis just couldn't come up with that. I mean, whizzed right past him. So.
And maybe one of the tougher plays there.
Absolutely.
Off of a big play. You're all amped up. That adrenaline starts to pump. You get that big completion you've been looking for all game. And then you're trying to get a nice little short crossing route there. And you put a little too much mustard on that one as it goes incomplete. And they'll go back to the I formation with Pierce under center. And he'll get the snap. And he will hand off this time to Donnie Hardy, who breaks a couple tackles up the middle and still on his feet inside the 20. Brought down just at that 20-yard line, but a 1st down run, and that was a lot of work done by Donnie Hardy, but give credit to him. Tacklers bouncing off of him, and they have another 1st down deep into the red zone of the Perry Pirates.
He carried about 7 or 8 different tacklers down there. Donnie Hardy with a very strong run. You can definitely be happy about that. Now just if you are Chagrin, you're just going to look for Cameron O'Connor or Donnie Hardy right now. Maybe even if you want to go with the fullback, McClintock, you can do that as well. You're in the red zone now, so definitely give the opportunity to score.
And this time it will be McClintock up the middle, and he's dragging some tacklers with him. That pile's still moving. They'll finally blow this one dead and gain of 4 on the play, up to the 16, 2nd down and 6. But that's the Chagrin Falls offense that they have been all year long, just chugging out the yards little by little, trying to get that big break, and they're going to try to control this clock. Already sitting at 9:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Almost 3 minutes have gone off the clock already with the Tigers in possession.
And great bruising run there for them. They're actually going to be taking a timeout, Chagrin.
And good time there, taking an early timeout there to let you know and thank. Of course, CVC TV cannot go off without our presenting sponsor this year. And that presenting sponsor, CVC TV, is that Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Of course, their practice will diagnose and treat your facial pain and injuries. Also offer a full range of dental implant and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral and Facial Implant Surgery for all your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Of course, you already heard that website, but again, please visit their website for all the details of our presenting sponsor at www.ohsurgery.com. That's www.ohsurgery.com. And a couple updates on those CVC games that we gave you earlier in this game. Wycliffe leading Orange 42-6 with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And Gilmore still leading over Hawken, have extended that lead out to 28-0 in the 3rd quarter in that ball game.
You personally love that Wycliffe score, don't you? Being from Wycliffe.
I wasn't going to say anything,
well,
but
I mean.
Now that you put it out there, sure. All right, this time the Tigers will hand this one off to Hardy around the right side, getting knocked out of bounds. Looks like he's going to be knocked out right at the 10-yard line, maybe just shy, bringing up a gain of 5, bringing up a 3rd down and 1, a 3rd down and short. And the situation that this Chagrin Falls offense has been looking to be in these 3rd down and short scenarios all game long.
Yeah, I mean, it's the exact thing that we were talking about at the very beginning of this game. They're just taking their time. They're taking their time and they're playing their offense. That's the only thing that you really want to see from the Chagrin Tigers there for them. And right now Dawson Pierce doesn't have to really think too much. Just hand the ball off to Hardy, and they're getting a lot of yards.
And Hardy will remain in the backfield on this 3rd and 1 play. And we'll have a flag, looks like movement, and looking for the early signal there. Back judge throwing that flag.
And that's something Dawson Pierce needs to know. That is an impossible thing for you to do as the quarterback. You cannot set yourself up to do that. As soon as you get the play, you got to hustle to get that play off and running before that clock goes to the end of 25.
And, of course, we do appreciate everyone tuning in on CVC TV here tonight. And, of course, if you got multiple platforms to stream games on, if you are a Browns fan out there and tuning into that and tuning into us. We thank you so much for keeping us on here tonight and tuning into CVC TV, or if you're watching on replay, we appreciate you tuning in throughout the week, of course. And this handoff on 3rd down and 6 will go to Hardy. He'll get around the left side. He's got some room. Stiff arm, trying to get to that near pylon. He does. He gets into the end zone on a 16-yard touchdown run. And just looking on the field there, because we've seen some big plays come back with the penalty flags, but no flags on the field, and Donnie Hardy able to break down that Pirate defense, get that big play they were looking for, and just like that, 8:57 to go in the 3rd quarter. They now lead this ball game 15-14.
A fantastic play there for them. I think that they're going to be going for 2, which is the smart call to do to make it a full, field goal difference there for Chagrin. But, I mean, what a great run to the left outside there for him. Great stiff arm at the end, and, he ended up diving in or getting into the end zone.
So they will go for 2, and they'll send Owen Lewis far out into this near side. And Miguel DeMastis will run across the formation. He'll be in the slot as Pierce will take the snap, and he gets picked off and not able to run that one back, but an interception on that 2-point attempt by Jaden Anderson, and who has that opening kickoff return. So it'll remain 15-14, 8:57 to go. Chagrin Falls able to capitalize on their opening possession.
And once again, one of those plays where if the rules were different, I mean, he's untouched, gone. It should be 2 points the other way. Then Perry would be up. I mean, that's realistically, it's these little turns in the game. It's these little differences that just aren't, going the way of Perry right now. And that's, kind of a breakdown of what they're, all doing. Unfortunately for them right now, it's that was just a missed opportunity there for that because of the rules in place. But Perry definitely has the opportunity to come back out here and, get back on the scoreboard.
So Chagrin Falls will take that 15-14 lead, their first lead of this ball game, coming all the way back from that opening kind of shell shock moment of that kickoff return by Jaden Anderson for 95 yards. And of course, here on CVC TV, a big game, a big matchup in the Chagrin division of the Chagrin Valley Conference on this one. Kirkpatrick will tee this one up, gives the ready signal to the special teams unit into the ball, and he will squib this one, looking to catch the Pirates off guard. And with that, although the Pirates now trailing this game, they will get excellent field position on that attempt, that squib kick attempt, almost a half onside, half squib kick attempt. And they'll be set up at their own 46-yard line, just shy of midfield.
I think it's a mistake. I think that was an absolute mistake. I mean, I understand that you're afraid to kick it deep, because of the run back in the very first play of the game. But I think that that's just an absolute blown mistake because you're giving up. You just gave them 30 yards, head coverage. Had they done their job and made the tackle down at the other end.
So Jalen Anderson will bring the offense back out, trying to get over the left side of the line, and gets run into and stopped by a host of Tigers. In on that tackle, Owen McClintock, the Tigers quarterback, Dawson Pierce, among a host of other Tigers. And, probably talked about, I'm sure Coach Imarino's talk at halftime was about Jalen Anderson and his elusiveness, so trying to keep him contained in that pocket if he's going to be taking these quarterback snaps.
Yeah, and that's a tough pill to swallow. I mean, good luck trying to get him.
So 2nd down and 9. Javin Richards will come across the formation. They'll fake the handoff to him. Jalen trying to get around the outside. He'll reverse field, and he has some green grass out there. Gets through a hole, and just a great tackle there was green turf in front of Jalen Anderson there, but a great tackle, but still a first down. So making something out of nothing. And you just mentioned you get one good stop, and then just like that, he hits you again.
Yeah, if Owen McClintock wasn't there, I mean, that's a reverse, for a touchdown. I mean, that would have been a phenomenal run. It was a great run already, but it would have been an even better one if Owen McClintock wasn't right there. So
Anderson will stay in at quarterback. This time he will have, looks like Nathan Smith on his hip on his right hip there. He'll have some 3 receivers out to his near side, but of course, he's going to take this snap, try to make another play out of nothing, and that time not allowing him to get out of that tackle. Max Moore, Owen McClintock, and McClintock showing up again from his inside linebacker position.
And Jalen Anderson right there. I mean, he's just, he got a little too fancy with it. I think he tried to just get a little too crazy with it. It's unfortunate, he's knocked back 5-6 yards now, and they're going to have to try and gain all that back.
So looks like they will bring Jacob Caldwell back into the ball game, and will hand off here. Trying to see who able to get that handoff, and he's just dragging tacklers there. And Tigers had that well bottled up, and yet it still turns into a solid gain for the Tigers, and will be set up with a 3rd down and short. Looked like Nathan Smith may have been in on that carry there for and so they'll leave Caldwell in there, and it was actually Aiden Leftlock on that carry. So a 3rd down and 3, 6:17 to go, 3rd quarter. Caldwell rolling out to his left, trying to loft it up, and he'll get picked off by Miguel Damastis, running it back across the 40, across the 45, into Pirate territory, across midfield. And Caldwell trying to fit one in to Jalen Anderson on the sideline, and waiting with open arms was Miguel Damastis running that back, and he gets brought down at the Pirate 40-yard line, and you can start to feel that energy building across the field for the Tigers, and Coach Iamarino has these guys locked in to start this second half.
Yeah, and Jalen Anderson was open. If it was a bullet pass, I think it would have got there, and they would have completed the 1st down and got some extra yardage out of that. Unfortunately, it was just a loft sort of pass, a touch pass, and the safety was right there and just ran it right up the field.
So Tigers getting their last instructions from the sideline. They will come out. 6:05 to go, leading 15-14, and getting the ball back on that turnover. Pirates had a drive going, and they turned the ball over. So just like that, you just feel that energy shift, that momentum shift from one side of this field to the other. Pierce will now hand off to Cameron O'Connor, who will gain 5 yards up to the 35. And they're just going to try to start really chewing clock and trying to establish their offensive line, their dominance up front on this Pirate defensive line that has had some success in this ball game, but is on their heels at this moment.
Yeah, both defenses have played really well, Perry especially, but right now Chagrin is just grinding the entire time. So, I mean, this is actually pretty crazy to see, because, for a good portion of that first half, it was rough sailing.
McClintock will get this handoff, and he'll meet a wall of defenders after a gain of 3. So again, we've mentioned that this is the Tiger game plan, and they're going to run that traditional I formation, or at least have Pierce go under center, and they're going to have their big running backs Hardy and O'Connor, and even their fullback McClintock, just trying to chew up yardage, chew up clock, and not do too fancy at all. It's simple, but it works.
Straight up the gut. We're going to try and pound this one out.
Pierce under center. Hardy in the backfield behind McClintock. He will follow his fullback. Again, get out to the left side. He's trying to find that near pylon. He's got some room and will get pushed out of bounds. Thought I saw a flag.
There is a flag
thrown on that far side. Jaden Anderson able to push him out of bounds, or else Hardy was off to the races. Now there is clapping going on inside that huddle for the Tigers, but we'll wait on this call and see if that one's coming back. And as our producer Peter Tubb looks across the field and spotting for us as well, early signal looks like a face mask on the Pirates.
Face mask on the defense. Half the distance from the end of the run results in the first down.
And just like that, you know, you tack on that yardage, Hardy with another great run. They're sealing that left side of this offensive line right now, and Hardy is taking advantage.
Well, Javin Richards is just teeing off. I mean, he's going as quick as possible to try and get around. If he cuts it down and just plays his defensive end, you know, outside linebacker spot and looks for the run instead of the pass, that play doesn't happen. So I think, you know, Richards, he's going to learn. He's a young kid. He's going to definitely learn from that situation.
So Pierce, first and goal at their 7. Hardy out to the left, and just like his other touchdown run, this time of a shorter variety. First time 16, this time only 7, but it counts for 6, still the same. And the Tigers now go up 21-14. Hardy with his second touchdown of the game, and they are abusing that left side of their offensive line, the right side of that Pirate defense right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're just running it all out. He's just following, you know, the fullback straight through these holes. I mean, they're wide open, you know, right on the left side right now. You can definitely tell that Perry's defense was a little tired out there for being out there for so many plays. But you know, that's the name of the game. They have to be the ones to stop that.
So this time they will go for the point after, and Pierce will no good as it slides off to the left, kind of a knuckleball out to the left. And, you know, he came into this game at only converting 5 of 6 point afters, and this one has had 1 blocked and now slides 1 to the left, trying to overcompensate for guys coming off that right side of the line. So it remains 21-14. Tigers get that touchdown lead, 4:35 to go in the third quarter, but crucial points being left out there on these extra point and 2-point conversions by the Tigers.
Yeah, and once again, Perry has, you know, every opportunity to score. You know, I mean, they can score quick and they can score slow. You know, we've seen that from them so far, you know, in their 2 touchdowns that they have. That being said, you want to see Jalen Anderson get the rock every single carry. You know, from here on out, you know, especially on this possession here, you definitely want to see Anderson get the rock.
And as word starts to trickle throughout the press box here as well, if you are tuning in to us and haven't been watching the Browns game as of yet, as they have kicked off at First Energy Stadium, an 11-yard touchdown run by Nick Chubb puts them on top 7-3 after the Bengals got a opening field goal on their opening possession. Baker on the opening drive, 5 of 5 for 55 yards. So a better start for the Browns over there. Here we have the Chagrin Falls Tigers on top of the Perry Pirates, 21-14, thanks to 2 touchdown runs by Donnie Hardy. And this squib kick just skirting it across the ground. They're trying to avoid the Anderson boys in the back, trying to avoid that big kickoff return. But that ball will kind of get out of bounds there, and that ball will be moved up to the 35-yard line. So a costly penalty there for the Tigers and their special teams unit.
Very smart play, special teams play by Perry, just letting the ball go, because they could have picked it up. I mean, there was an opportunity for, I think, 2 or 3 kids to pick that ball up and run. And I mean, you're in high school. You don't get the opportunity to run the ball as much as you'd like.
Right.
So I guarantee you, those kids were passing up on that opportunity. But it was a smart move, because now the ball's up at the 35.
So now Caldwell will stay in there as the quarterback. Looks like Jalen Anderson will flank him on his right hip, and they will hand off to Anderson, who's getting across the middle, and he is out in the clear, down inside the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And just like that, Jalen Anderson strikes for the Pirates. And we are 1 point away from being tied in this ball game as he runs it straight up the middle, barely touched, went for 65 yards to the house, right to left, and again, just like that, the Pirates are back in business. And again, those costly points could have this game tied on this Calvin Rowan attempt for the extra point.
Well, like I said, you know, give the ball to Jalen Anderson every play on that drive. They did. One play, it was 65.
And a line drive kick end over end goes through the uprights. And what we thought was going to be a battle, a slugfest, kind of an Ali Frazier type fight, a boxing match here tonight, back and forth. We're starting to get exactly that And with 4:23 left in the third quarter, it is a tie ball game. And look at Coach Matt Rosati bring his entire team, not just the special teams unit, the entire team together to get them all fired up and get their heads back in this ball game.
And smart play by the coach. You got to let them know. And they are fired up on the sidelines right now. So that is a great move by the coach to get the team going. I mean, if you're going to be a betting man, Perry right now has got the momentum going on. They love what they're seeing from Anderson tonight. It's a fantastic game so far, just like Beechwood last week. For the CVC game of the week last week, Beechwood versus Crestwood. A lot of scoring here in this third quarter, and we still got 4.5 minutes left to see if there's going to be any more touchdowns.
And you feel that energy. You feel almost the goosebumps
absolutely
on your arms and up and down as the Perry Pirate crowd gets into it. This kickoff short, and Damastis touches it, and either way it's a live football, and Javin Richards jumps on top of it, and quickly the momentum swings back in favor of the Perry Pirates. That ball recovered at the Chagrin Falls 21-yard line. So right away, this offense, Jalen Anderson and that Pirate offense, will go right back out onto the field.
This crowd is going crazy right now. I mean, I know it's select family and friends out there, but this crowd is electric right now. And I mean, just give the ball to Jalen Anderson. That's going to be your best move. If you want to win this game, he's your best player. You go for it.
Caldwell back in at quarterback. He's looking to pass up over the top. He's got Jaden Anderson, and he scores a touchdown through the air, a 22-yard touchdown strike from Jacob Caldwell to Jaden Anderson. And just like that, within a matter of moments, the Pirates retake the lead, looking for that touchdown lead on their own end. And we're at 4:17, 6 seconds win off the clock between two Anderson touchdowns. Rowan, ball down, kick up, and that one again right through the uprights, and he stays perfect. Point after attempt, 28-21, 4:17 to go in the third quarter. And the amount of energy that came out of that entire team huddle with Coach Matt Rosati bringing the Pirates all together. What a beautiful throw.
By far the best throw Jacob Caldwell has had all night, maybe all season. And, right up to Jaden Anderson. I mean, fantastic play. You couldn't have called a better play in that situation. And now they're up 7 points.
And you mentioned this crowd getting into it. I know it's select family and friends and a select amount of tickets that are available, and that's why the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery is sponsoring CVC TV, so we can bring you these live feeds. But the way that they have the stands set up, stretched all the way across the 100-yard dash line there on the track, in line with that, plenty of spacing to be able to get enough people in here to make enough noise, and they are having an impact on this game. Rowan has this teed up, and the energy just continues to grow. If you can hear it coming through on the broadcast, this time Damastis will reel in this kickoff, and he's trying to squirt through a little hole. Picked it up at about his 15-yard line, gets out to the 30, so about a 15-yard return, a decent return there. And good play there to get things settled down for the Tigers there by Damastis.
Yeah, and if you're Chagrin, once again, you just need to come out here and play your game. There's plenty of time left. I mean, you still have over 16 minutes left total for this entire game, so you have plenty of time and opportunity to do the exact things that you want to do. If I'm Chagrin coaching staff, I'm going straight with Donnie Hardy and Cameron O'Connor. I'm just running the ball as much as possible. Run it right off of the left side like we were talking about, and have Owen McClintock be the big man to make those blocks off the left side.
Best way to catch your breath, a long, demonstrative, controlled possession here by the Tigers. And this one will go to Donnie Hardy, and he's finding room on that left side. He's across the 40 out near midfield and gets dragged out of bounds across midfield. And look where they're spotting this ball at the Perry Pirate 44-yard line. And again, Hardy around the left side. It's just clockwork right now for this Tigers offense.
Hardy had a great run, but that run wouldn't have happened without Owen McClintock blowing up the linebacker coming down into that territory. Whenever they see the tail of the tape, the all 22 view this coming up week, in practice, it's gonna be a sight for sore eyes for sure.
Yeah, 27-yard run there by Hardy, and they'll actually move that up to the Pirate 43-yard line. And again, they're just taking their time, and this time McClintock gets a carry for his heavy-duty work blocking in front of Hardy and O'Connor, but a short gain, a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
And that's a smart, very, very smart play to call right there. Very nice and easy. You know that you're going to get at least 2 or 3 yards out of it and just settle down the masses, because you just want to have that confidence rolling into the fourth quarter. And there's 3.5 minutes left, and they're just going to keep running it up the middle and off to the left.
Pierce back under center. He's got Owen Lewis out to his right-hand side, but we know where this ball is going. And that goes off to looks like Hardy, as Owen Lewis continues to block downfield. And, yep, Hardy trying to get off that left side. A better job sealing the edge there and kind of forcing him back up inside for another short gain down to the 38-yard line. A gain of a couple 3rd down and 5 coming up for this Tigers offense.
And that was a great, phenomenal tackle by Jeffrey Harris Jr. He's a senior defensive lineman, 5'7", 270. So big boy right there in the middle, just devouring that play right there.
And this time McClintock will be alone in the backfield as the lone running back this time. Pierce dropping back, looking out to the right for Lewis, and it is picked off. Able to keep that one off the turf. And looking to see who picked that one off for, looked like number 4 for the Perry Pirates. That was
Javin Isaacs.
Javon Isaacs for the Pirates, able to pick that one off. And Pierce trying to go to his favorite target, Lewis, and that was way behind him and just into the waiting arms of Isaacs right at the 35-yard line. So a great drive comes to a halt, and that energy, that momentum just continues to be fed into that Pirates sideline right now.
Yeah, Perry is devouring every little bit of momentum that they can get. So it's a great call by them and great defensive play.
So Caldwell still in at quarterback, and Anderson gets the handoff and a bruising run. Gain of 10. He gets across his own 45. He'll be marked out at the 46. So that'll be enough 11-yard gain for a 1st down. And this rushing attack with Anderson, they're still going to look to hit quick, but they're also going to try to chew clock. 2:30 still left, so a lot of time left in this game, 2:30 in the 3rd quarter, but leading 28-21, and they're not done yet.
No, and they're in a little bit of a hurry-up offense, which is a little surprising, but they're trying to keep it up-tempo.
Trying to really take control in this 3rd quarter as Anderson trying to find room out on the edge, and great job there to seal the edge, push them back up inside, as that Perry defensive front it was just doing with the Tigers running backs. Tigers kind of give them a dose of their own medicine. Anderson a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9 at the 48. And there's that man again, Dawson Pierce. He's trying to lead the Tigers back, but he's also leading them on defense to try to get that ball back, to get it in his hands, because he wants another opportunity after that interception.
And he definitely will have that opportunity, but he definitely needs to step it up here on defense. And it looks like
Aiden left block with the carry there, and he finds some room around the left side. So the Pirates trying to go back at the Tigers, give them a dose of their own medicine, running off the left side, left block down to the Tiger 40-yard line, and another 1st down. Clock stops momentarily as they reset the chains. 1:36 left to go in this 3rd quarter, and Pirates really trying to leave their mark and really control the rest of this game.
Absolutely. Looking for Jalen to run the ball there for him. Cuts it straight up the middle.
And a few guys there on the Tigers defense. McClintock, Pierce. Also looked like Grady Ziegler was in on that tackle as well. They're also trying to rip at the ball. Right now, especially with the elusiveness of Anderson, I think you want to get him to the ground, try to stop him for as minimal gain as possible, and put yourself in 3rd and long situations for your defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Chagrin right now, you're at a 2nd and 9 here for us. You know that they're going to want to try and get the ball to Anderson, Jalen Anderson, that is, who is right on the hip of Jacob Caldwell right now. So looking at the lineup, I mean, they have everyone stacked to the left side right now.
Caldwell will look out to the left lock, gets it in his hands, gets across the 40, but then met there on the tackle, getting in there for the Tigers. Cole Edinger in on that tackle. So a good space out there for that bubble screen, but not much left. And as our spotter and producer, Peter Tellep, gets our attention here in the press box as well, looks like Baker has his 2nd touchdown pass of the year, and it is to that fabled number 13 for the Cleveland Browns, finding the end zone for the first time this season, Odell Beckham Jr., and we have actually reached the end of our 3rd quarter here as the Browns just getting underway in their 1st quarter. Perry leading 28-21. And we want to remind you and thank all of our sponsors here for CVC TV. And we of course, our presenting sponsor, the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery, as well as Vape Educate. Vape Educate is an online course designed to be completed by middle and high school students. However, it most certainly can be beneficial to anyone interested in learning more about e-cigarettes, vaping, and juuling. Schools are using Vape Educate as an educational program for teachers, parents, and other community members. Visit vapeeducate.com to learn more. That's vapeeducate.com. And if you want to get in on sponsoring CVC TV, like the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, as well as Vape Educate, of course, all you have to do to get details, head on over to the CVC website at chagrinvalleyconference.com. That's chagrinvalleyconference.com. So the Pirates will come out to start this 4th quarter, leading 28-21. 2 big plays in this ball game: a 65-yard touchdown run from Jalen Anderson in that 3rd quarter, and a 22-yard touchdown pass to Jaden Anderson has them up 28-21 as Caldwell finds Jalen Anderson out in the flat. Minimal gain there, may have lost a yard.
He did. That was a save yourself sort of play. The pass was a little late getting there. All he could do, he wasn't going to get many yards, so he just decided to go down. Lived to see another play.
So Chagrin Falls looks like they're going to get this ball back to punt this football for the Pirates. Their punter, Brian Cox, who also has his first interception in this ball game, and something I missed out on because all that action towards the end of the 3rd quarter for Jalen Anderson. I believe that touchdown run, that 65-yard touchdown run, gives him 70 total touchdowns in his career, if my math is correct. And this punt high up in the air, and plenty of Pirates waiting for this as Tigers get out of the way, and a beautiful, beautiful punt downed by the special teams unit at the 2-yard line. And this will push the Tigers back. And with that defense revved back up for the Pirates, you saw how strong their defensive front was. They are salivating at this opportunity right here.
And that was a perfect punt. I want to go back to that. That was a Pat McAfee special for the brand. So that was a great overall punt there for him, right there down on the 2-yard line. Backs up Perry, but Perry, once again, has all the momentum. They even being backed up, if you just give the ball to Jalen Richards, Jalen Anderson, you can definitely, get out of this hole right there. And, he might even break one, and go for a 98.
Yeah, so bringing him out will be Dawson Pierce. Of course, he'll have Donnie Hardy in the backfield with him. They're going to look to try to get this one, get a little bit more breathing room back there. 10:59 to go in this game, and it looks like a timeout is called. And with this one coming down to the end, we better let you know about all of our sponsors right now. We do it all for you here on CVC TV. When you watch a game with myself and Nick Paulus, you're going to get everything. You get score updates, you get for the brand references, you get all the live reads that we need, because we can't do this without any of our sponsors, especially our title sponsor, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery with Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, Jill Weber, and Jacqueline Tomsick. Of course, their specialties include the dental surgery and the implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. Yes, that is www.ohsurgery.com. Again, thank you so much for all your support of Chagrin Valley Conference, CVC TV, and these student athletes. And there, just a short handoff looked like McClintock trying to jump over the offensive line there and trying to get a little bit of breathing room. And he'll get about a yard out to the 3. 2nd down and 9, still deep in their own territory. And it does look like we do have a Tiger down on the field. Again, we will never speculate on any injuries. And we do have the official timeout now for the injury. Did not see who was down there for the Tigers and getting up there quickly, which is good to see. Number 59 out there for the Tigers, Nick D'Alessandro, their left tackle. May have gotten rolled up on there, but of course he will walk off on his own power, and all the best out to him as the training staff was out there quickly. But before they can even get to him, he was up on his feet saying, "Coach, get me back in this game."
Get me back in, get me back in. And Nick D'Alessandro, he's offensive lineman, defensive end, 6'5", 265 pounds, and a junior. Big boy out there. So
yes.
He probably just got rolled up, and then, you know, he's so that'll end up happening to everyone if you play enough football. So it's unfortunate, but it's something that, you know, thankfully he was able to walk off the field.
Yeah, things that you see there when you're close to either goal line, whether you're trying to get away from one or get into the other. You're going to see those scrums in there, but he's only a junior, already being looked at by Division I schools. So
as he should.
As a big-time recruit for the Tigers there. And this time they'll hand off to Hardy, trying to break a few tackles. And forward progress will get him to the 5, a gain of 2. 3rd down and 7, and this is where the Pirates and their defense will look to try to kind of pin the ears back here. And their defensive front of Harper, Jackson, Harris, even some of their linebackers like Nathan Smith and Javin Richards, who is having one heck of a ball game. And again, look, this time, very next play, Perry Pirate player does go down the field. This time, their training staff will come out and keep an eye on them. So again, all our best to that student athlete on the field. We'll get you that number here in just one moment. As we come back in here to the press box for a moment, Paulus, of course, you never want to see those injuries out there on the field. But as we do get a moment here, as they do tend to him on the field, the football we have gotten the last couple weeks, and it was
Jaden Anderson.
Yep, as he is playing both ways for the Pirates. So good to see him walking off under his own power as well. But yeah, so the football that we've gotten the last couple weeks between Beechwood, Crestwood, and really all season long here on CVC TV. I mean, West G 21-19 over Ashtabula Lakeside. Yes, Independence did beat Cardinal. It was 36-6 in that game. But I'm telling you, that Cardinal football team has a lot of seniors, and with every team making the playoffs, they're going to be dangerous. Last week, Beechwood 41-35 and a heck of a ball game.
One of the best games I've ever seen in high school football. I mean, it was that much fun. And not to brag, but it was my first time ever calling a game as well, so that was a lot of fun as well.
One heck of a way to get your start, right?
It really was.
And this one, 28-21, 3rd down and 8 for the Tigers with 9:45 to go, and almost getting picked as Pierce was getting hit as he threw that football. He was looking.
And Pierce got clobbered.
He did, and he is slow to get up, but he will get up and walk to his sideline. And again, he was looking on that far side, that right side for Owen Lewis. And as he was releasing that ball, you could just see that one start to flutter as he got hit and hit hard in the backfield.
And he's lucky. If it came a hair later, that ball would have just floated right to the linebacker, and they would have waltzed right into the end zone. So for right now, Chagrin is very lucky to still have this ball and still only be a one-score game.
So standing close to the back of his own end zone, Kirkpatrick will punt this one away. And waiting back there at the 40-yard line will be Jalen Anderson. But he'll just let this one roll as it was kind of sidewinding away from him. Didn't want to try to dive on that football, cause any sort of turnover there in good field position for the Tigers. That ball will be down at the Tigers' 40-yard line. Good field position, 9:32 to go. All 3 timeouts for Perry. Only 1 left now for Chagrin Falls. They're the team using up those timeouts. What are you looking for on this possession coming out from the Pirates?
For the Pirates, once again, it's a one-score game. They can just keep playing the same game that they're already doing. Donnie Hardy has been amazing for them tonight. So they just need to keep running the ball there for them and, be able to go from there.
I mean Anderson?
Oh, Anderson. I'm sorry. Yes, Anderson
Right.
there for us. Yeah, Jalen Anderson has been fantastic all night. Just give him the rock, and he'll be able to get it going.
Trust me, Paulus has been helping me out all night long. Him and Peter Tubb, our producer, have been helping me out all night long with the spotting, trying to see some of these numbers, especially on that far side. And Anderson will get this handoff inside the 20, and he gets just pushed out of bounds. He steps out before he can get into the end zone, and looks like they're marking him out at the 19-yard line of the Tigers, a 21-yard gain. So much for trying to eat some clock there. Anderson trying to get into that end zone. And like I said, if math serves me right, he now has 70 career touchdowns. He came in with with 30, I believe it was 36 on the ground. Yes, 36 on the ground, 30 through the air.
Keep adding to it.
And a kickoff return and a defensive touchdown games 68. He does have 2 touchdown runs here tonight, so should be that 70 and a very nice play there in the backfield by the Tigers as Anderson slipping down again. Kind of been slipping on that turf a little bit here tonight. It does look great out there, but of course this kind of turf, you're going to see that from time to time. And a lot of these guys only have that one set of cleats. It's not like the pros where you're switching in studs all the time.
Yeah, no, it just looked like he tried to do a jump cut and just slipped. The feet went right out from him, and thankfully he didn't twist an ankle or tweak a knee or anything like that.
So Caldwell will hand off to left lock here, who goes up the middle, and that Tigers defensive front able to stop him for a minimal gain. Looks like a gain of 3 will bring up a 3rd down and 8, maybe only a gain of 2 there. So it will be a 3rd down and 9. Ticking time clock here in the 4th quarter. An excellent ball game once again here on CVC TV, and Pirates still leading 28-21.
Yeah, and right now for Perry, all you got to do is just once again just keep eating the clock. Chagrin only has the 1 timeout left, and looks like I believe Perry just took their first timeout.
As that play clock was winding down on them, so they will take that timeout. And so, something interesting about Jalen Anderson is we do have a moment to kind of talk about this guy that has been running all over the field, doing all of the work for the Pirates, and of course the Anderson boys getting into this game and having an impact. But Jalen Anderson, and this story comes courtesy of John Camp, a longtime writer for the News Herald. So we want to make sure we give courtesy where it's due. And he's been at the News Herald since 2002. He had a story at the beginning of this season about Jalen Anderson. Jalen Anderson was actually born bow-legged, and the doctors wanted to basically, it seemed like they wanted to break his legs and kind of reset them to have them kind of set right in braces and things like that. And his dad said no, and he's just going to let him try to run out of it. And he started playing when he was 5 years old. And, of course, in the story he says he wasn't very good at that time, but he has run himself out of that and run himself into probably some record books here at Perry. And this handoff, this toss out to the right-hand side, the near side, goes out to Brandon Mason, but stumbles down to the turf. So we'll bring up a 4th down and short, and an interesting call here for the Pirates and Coach Rosati. See if they try to go for points to go up 2 scores here.
Yeah, Caldwell just led Mason out just a little too far. Mason with a great fingertip catch and, just wasn't able to stay up on his feet.
So it will be Calvin Rowan in to attempt this field goal. Ball will be placed down at the 15-yard line, held by quarterback Jacob Caldwell for a 25-yard field goal attempt. He is 1-1 1 for 1 on field goal attempts this year, and he gets the crucial 2-score lead on that 15-yard field goal from Calvin Rowan. 31-21, 7:20 left in this ball game, and the Tigers, who are very methodical on offense, are going to have to strike quick with only 1 timeout left.
And it's going to be just like how they finished the half, just going down, try and complete, at least one big play, try and get Owen Lewis, into the game. I mean, he's so far been the favorite target out there, so you just got to look for him. If you're Dawson Pierce, once again, just, go to the guy with the hot hand. And once again, that's Owen Lewis and or Donnie Hardy as well. As
both special teams come out in this game, it looks like down at First Energy Stadium, already in the second quarter, 9 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and Bengals get on the board with a touchdown, so they trail. The Browns still leading in that one, 14-10. Of course, you have Nick Chubb getting in the end zone, and for the first time this season, you got OBJ getting in the end zone for the first time this season. But
apparently, it was a beautiful 43-yard pass for a touchdown.
Hey, we're getting some beautiful football plays here. As much as we want to see that, we're getting some great, beautiful football here as Rowan will squib this one across the ground, picking that up for the Tigers and bringing that out. Looks like Grady Ziegler will bring that out close to the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line, and that's where they'll take over here, getting late into the fourth quarter. And like we said, we have seen some great football here tonight and here on CVC TV. Those that are watching the Browns and CVC TV, or if you're just watching us and you're just waiting for our updates of the Browns games, we thank you so much to all the family, friends, loved ones of these players who, of course, with COVID-19 protocol, Paulus mentioned it earlier, not being able to have that ticket availability to get everyone in. If you are watching live, or if you are someone here in the stadium here tonight watching on replay, or just watching some high school football on replay throughout the week, we thank you so much for tuning in. And these kids, these student athletes and coaches cannot do anything without the support of their loved ones and community. This handoff will go to Donnie Hardy, and he gets met right at the line of scrimmage, gets stonewalled right at the 39-yard line, right back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. And so far, Chagrin Falls and honestly, the Perry Pirates have been able to kind of shore up that right side of their defense, where Donnie Hardy was kind of skirting through some holes there in the third quarter.
Yeah, Donnie Hardy really hasn't had much of an impact, for at least over the last quarter or so. But
as Pierce rolls out and will get sacked and dropped back at his 36-yard line, a loss of 3, and will bring up a 3rd down and 13. And
it was a great sack and tackle by Bryce Harper in the backfield.
Again, that'll be, looks like his 5th sack on the season, and someone who has been very disruptive for the better portion of this season, and has the Tigers kind of moving backwards there. Again, 3rd and 13, clock is still moving. 5:55 to go in the game. Pierce will be in this pistol formation. Hardy right behind him, McClintock on his right hip. And he's looking out to the right and not able to connect with Ziegler out there on the far right flat. So it brings up 4th down. And so late in this ball game with 1 timeout, it'll be interesting to see if they keep them on or if they're going to bring Kirkpatrick out to punt. And they will bring out Kirkpatrick to punt. And interesting call there from the sideline from Coach Iamarino.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call. You only have the 1 timeout left, but you're down 2 scores. I think, it's 4th and 13. You would think that you'd have to go for it. At this moment in time, I mean, it is the ball game.
As the referees will blow this play dead prior to the snap. And Chagrin Falls
takes their final timeout.
Uses their final timeout. So Coach Iamarino will bring his team over and probably discuss this, especially using the final timeout to do so. Down 2 scores, still got about half the quarter to go. But again, a team that is very powerful up front, methodical on offense. But when you're trailing in a ball game so late, it makes those calls, that play sheet, maybe reduced in a sense for the Chagrin Falls sideline. What are they What do you expect to come out of this timeout, and what are the Pirates going to be? What kind of impact are the Pirates going to try to have on this fourth down call?
Well, I think Dawson Pierce is just going to have to loft one up. I really do. I think that they're going to come out of here. They're going to line up in a wide receiver setup, and just try and look for Owen Lewis. If I was Perry's defensive coordinator, I would let them know. Make sure you keep your eyes on Hardy or Lewis. Those are the two big ones that you definitely want to keep your eyes on right now.
And of course, as they come back out here, looks like Pierce will come back out, so they will go for it on this fourth down and 13. So a big play for this Tigers offense to try to stay in this football game. Pierce will go under center, and they'll kind of be in that offset eye
Look for
formation.
play action.
And of course, the Pirates have played that play action pretty well. This time, Pierce, with enough on his sideline, he's being chased by Javin Richards, who strips the football. Fumble on the play. Ball will roll out of bounds. Either way, it is a turnover on downs. And the man who has been running quarterback, running wild on offense, comes up with the biggest play for the Pirates defense today. Javin Richards coming in with a monster swipe and strip of that football from Dawson Pierce.
Yeah, Jalen just, he's taken over this entire game. He really has. There's not a doubt in my mind. If you're going to give a player of the game award, it's definitely going to go to Jalen Anderson.
And Anderson runs over to the sideline and is fired up on that play, as he should be, and got to find his helmet and get back out there, as he will run out there late on this offensive possession. Caldwell will now be flanked by Leftlock and Anderson. And this handoff will go to Leftlock coming around the right side, and gets met in the hole by Owen McClintock after a gain of 4. But a key pickup there on first down will bring up a second down and 4. And the other key there is anything in the field of play, that clock's going to continue to roll because the Tigers cannot stop this fourth quarter clock from running.
Yeah, if I'm just Jacob Caldwell, I am looking to Jalen Anderson and just giving him the rock every single time. Just let him run it straight up the middle and get as many yards as possible, and then kill that clock.
Caldwell back in the shotgun. He will hand off to his right this time to Jalen Anderson, trying to shift his way through the hole and able to pick up 5 on that play. Will bring up a third down and short. Looks like at the 22-yard line, a gain of 6, third down and 1. And we have reached the 4.5-minute mark to go here in the fourth quarter. And you said it. Jalen Anderson has just taken over this football game. As Chagrin Falls started to come back, Anderson felt that foul taste in the mouth from last week with Riverside and said, put it on me, put it on my back, and I'm going to get us going. And that fired up this whole Pirate offense as he is running loose again, and he will get the first down and then some down to the 15-yard line inside the red zone again. And they're just going to continue to ride Leftlock and Anderson. And, of course, we've had Javin Richards and Brandon Mason coming across the formation as well. But this is just going to be looking like in the shotgun and just hand it off right or left.
And you can't go wrong with giving the ball to number 1 or number 2. Either Anderson. They are doing a great job tonight. Jalen is just phenomenal. And, once again, West Virginia's got a good one.
And he's going to be a big-time running back in that Big 12, the way that they run their offenses there. And Leftlock just dragging tacklers along with them inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. A gain of 10 that looked like he was going to be stopped after a minimal gain, and he just kept churning those legs. And that's the conditioning that these coaches put these players through in the offseason, even in a weird off-season as I'm sure most of these, if not all of these student athletes went through for this fall 2020 season.
Yeah, absolutely. And left lock, I mean, he just keeps just moving. I mean, keeps those legs going at all times, and, you know, great overall run there for him.
So they'll just keep that shotgun formation, putting one running back on either side. This time to Jalen Anderson. Gets caught in the backfield trying to get away from defenders, but a much better job of rallying to the football there by Chagrin Falls, and he gets dropped for a 6-yard loss. He's second down and goal from their 11-yard line.
Yeah, it's definitely a loss there for him. It's going to be 2nd and 11 there for Perry, but once again, they're just trying to kill this clock. I mean, there's 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, and they're just taking their good old sweet time.
And while they huddle up here to call this play, we've kind of been giving you the Cleveland updates as well. Last update we had from the Indians game, the Indians up 8-0, trying to get off their 8-game losing streak. They're up 8-0 on the Tigers. This time they'll hand off, the Pirates here in this football game will hand off to left lock, and he'll get some of those lost yards back down to the 8-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd down and goal from the 8. Most importantly, though, for the Pirates, that clock continues to tick, and Caldwell in no hurry to get the signal from Coach Matt Rosati. And this clock hits 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And in high school, of course, that's going to continue to tick down, and they may just take this all the way down and either take a timeout or take the delay of game here just to use as much clock as possible. And looks like they will call that timeout as Rosati looks at the back judge for the play clock signal. And as it ticks down to 1 second left, he will call his second timeout of the half. So 1:38 to go. Perry leading 31-21 in this battle, this Chagrin Division battle here on CVC TV. And we want to thank our sponsors and our title sponsor, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery here, for helping us get this CVC TV action off the ground this year. And like I said, we don't just do football, we do soccer, we do volleyball. We try to bring as many of these events here in uncertain and weird times here in 2020 out to all of you, live stream and keep them up there on the Chagrin Valley Conference YouTube page for you to watch throughout the week. And we can't do that without our sponsors like Vape Educate and the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. And again, we've mentioned it before, but if you want to get in on sponsoring this great endeavor here on CVC TV, just reach out to the Chagrin Valley Conference at their website. And that's www.chagrinvalleyconference.com. That's chagrinvalleyconference.com. And Paulus, with 1:38 to go, Pirates just trying to seal this one away. I mean, what a performance by Jalen Anderson and this entire Pirates team, especially as the Tigers were starting to come back on them there.
Yeah, I mean, once again, they stole all the momentum, right there in the 3rd quarter.
As we have a fumble there, and Caldwell will just jump back on there, but it'll be a loss on the play back to the 13-yard line.
But that clock is still running.
Yep, and that's the key is, just following that ball in the field of play and just let that clock run down. You probably see Rosati maybe call his final timeout here as well, as so continue to keep eyes on the play clock signals. Without actual play clocks here in some high school stadiums do, most you will see just that back judge giving that signal to the quarterback and what they need to pay attention to. And we've reached the 1 minute to go mark, and the clock will continue to run. Pirates in no hurry to get this snap off. Caldwell, handoff to left lock, breaks a few tackles, but great job there by the Tigers to stem the tide as left lock gets met in the hole and gets dropped for a loss. And it looks like one of the Tigers is down on the field there, as we'll have an official timeout for this injury. Again, wish the student athlete well there. Just looked like a big scrum for the football there. Great job penetrating, though, by that Tigers defensive line to finish out this game. Coaches always want you, no matter what happens, give it everything you have the entire game, all the way until the final whistle. And they are definitely playing hard for their coach and going to be these are two great teams in the CVC.
Absolutely.
In a shortened season where everybody makes the playoffs, yes, it's weird, it's different, these are two teams that can make deep playoff runs in Division IV.
There's no doubt about that. And, I mean, you just see the heart and the effort just from both teams. I mean, you look at someone like Jalen Anderson, who, dominated tonight. But then you look, at the opposite sideline as well. I mean, you look at, someone like Donnie Hardy, who I have on our roster here as a second-string runner. I mean, but he played first string. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was fantastic throughout this entire game. And I really think you're going to see that, especially on the tape there for these coaches. You're going to see a lot of plays that you absolutely love. And then you're also going to see some plays, we got to make some tweaks. We got to do, some different things out there. And that's something that you love to see if you're a high school coach, because you want to teach, these kids the proper way for not only technique, but, how to run a certain play, how to run certain routes. I mean, that's what you live for if you're a high school coach.
And we still want to give our best out to the Chagrin Falls Tigers player who is being attended to by the entire medical staff out there and is still down on the field here off to our right-hand side, down around the Chagrin Falls 20-yard line down there. So all the best out to them. And again, we'll keep it right here up in the press box as they tend to the student-athlete there on the field. Bring up a great point there, Paulus. These coaches are, it's teaching moments. And to even extend off of that, what they're teaching in practice and these teachable moments that they'll show up on film, they're also trying to, as the Tigers player is up on his feet and trying to see if that's number 8 or number 9. If it's 9, then it would be Dawson Pierce. If it is number 8, there's the jersey is a little wrinkled up there. It would be Charlie McLaughlin. Looks like it might be Charlie out there getting up and being helped to the sideline. So again, all of our best here from CVC TV and everyone here on the broadcast. And while we do have a moment, we do want to thank all those involved here tonight. Paulus and I cannot do this alone. Of course, we thanked our title sponsor, Ohio Center for Oral and Facial and Implant Surgery, plus our other sponsor, Vape Educate, here tonight. But to get this production off and running, we can't do that without a team, and we want to thank Peter Tellup on production and helping with spotting here tonight, and on camera work, running 2 cameras for us here tonight, doing double duty down there close to the field, Mike Allen. And thank you so much to Mike and to Peter and to, of course, my broadcast partner, Paulus, for everything here on this broadcast here tonight. So it does look like that was Charlie McLaughlin that went down, because Dawson Pierce is in there at quarterback. He'll roll out here to his right and get a completion out to his favorite target. And ball is out as they scrum for the football.
And it looks like Perry has it.
And that'll kind of seal this one away. So another turnover, another fumble for the Tigers. A great throw out just to get something going there for Chagrin Falls. Dawson Pierce out to Owen Lewis, but Lewis fumbling that football. Pirates jump on top of it at the Tigers' 25-yard line. And with 39 seconds to go, they really only have to run one play and seal this one away.
Yeah, and for Dawson Pierce, once again, great throw. Yeah, it's unfortunate, this is the way the game ends for them, but it was a great throw and catch. The kid just was trying to do a little too much, trying to score 10 points on one play, and unfortunately, you can't do that.
And looks like Javon Isaacs was getting the congratulations on the sideline, either recovering that football or knocking it out. So he has an interception and a fumble recovery here on this ball game. So 2 big plays there for Isaacs, as the teams, of course, cannot fully shake hands, but some of them will just give those quick elbow nudges that are common here
the daps.
In 2020. 15 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter as both teams will walk to their sidelines. The elbow daps go away. Pirates and their crowd celebrate as the clock will tick down to the final 3 zeros of this ball game. Pirates get the win, move to 3-1, and move to 3-0 in the Chagrin division. Chagrin Falls drops to 3-1 as well, but crucial 2-1 in the division as Perry wins it 31-21. and we will wrap things up here inside the press box real quick before we end our broadcast here tonight. And Paulus, we have been fortunate to have some great football here on CVC TV, and we were not disappointed here tonight. Perry coming in, trying to make that statement and keeping Chagrin Falls from winning, so that streak continues out to 8 seasons, it looks like, of beating Chagrin Falls and 2 heavy rivals. What did you see in this one, and where do both of these teams go moving forward in this shortened season?
I think both are going to be well equipped for the playoff run. I really do. This Chagrin team, giving up 31 points is probably the best case scenario that could have happened, because Perry can score on any play, and it was proven, right out from the gate there for us. But Chagrin, no reason to hang your heads. Go out there next week. I'm not exactly sure who they play next week, but go out there, give it your A effort. I guarantee you, your A effort is going to win you 90% of these games here. So you just go out there, give it your all. And for Perry, I mean, what can he say? Jalen Anderson was something special tonight. He really was. I mean, he was all over the field, not only making offensive plays, but to seal the deal defensively at the very end of the fourth quarter. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better overall star in Jalen Anderson.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the stats, as we don't have too much access to that right now, but we'll see that here in the box score in just a little bit. But maybe after we get off the broadcast here tonight. But Jalen Anderson was the story. The Anderson boys were the story. They got it going. Jaden Anderson starts it off with that 95-yard kickoff return. And, of course, Jalen gets that 1-yard touchdown run. Chagrin Falls able to get a couple touchdowns from Donnie Hardy, one of 16 yards here in the second half, and 7 yards as the Pirates ring their bell for the victory here tonight. And, of course, they also got the, were able to score those 21 points here tonight. But Pirates, who have been known to be a first-half team, really brought it in that second half. When they went down 21-14, you just saw, as soon as that happened, Jalen Anderson comes out, 65-yard rushing touchdown right up the middle. No one could catch him. And immediately on the ensuing kickoff, Miguel Damascus had his hands on it, kind of filtered away from him. Pirates jump on top of it, and immediately Jacob Caldwell, 22-yard touchdown strike to Jaden Anderson, and that really was the difference. And you saw it, the attention to detail from the Pirates. That, I say, the key moment in this game was when Coach Matt Rosati brought the team over for that team huddle. Instead of just a special teams huddle, that team huddle kept the momentum going, and they just took off from there and never looked back, and they go to 3-0 in the Chagrin Valley Conference. Paulus, final thoughts here as we wrap things up.
Once again, both these teams are going to be excellent here in the playoffs. I think that they both can make very deep playoff runs if given the opportunity, given the chance to do so. And once again, Jalen Anderson tore up tonight. Once again, West Virginia has a great up-and-coming star there for him next year. So, once again, congrats to the Perry Pirates. And, once again, congrats to the Chagrin Falls Tigers as well. I mean, they gave it their all. They, A efforts all around the board. We're lucky to see this game, and it was a fantastic game, 31-21.
And it's going to be two tough teams, 2 tough outs once the playoffs do start here in a few weeks. But that is going to wrap it up here for your CVC TV Game of the Week. Thanks to our presenting sponsor, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, and, of course, Vape Educate. Get more details from Vape Educate at vapeeducate.com, and from our title sponsor, the Ohio Center for Oral and Facial Implant Surgery at www.ohsurgery.com. So, your final here tonight from Alumni Stadium in Perry, Ohio. The Perry Pirates 31, the Chagrin Falls Tigers 21. For Mike Allen on the cameras, Peter Tillett behind the production and spotting force here tonight, and my broadcast partner and brother, Nick Paulus. I'm Kevin Arnold, telling all of you to have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time here on CVC TV.